And just like that, there's Joe.
There's Joe. He's right there.
Good evening, everybody. Talk about hauling ass. How is everybody doing?
Doing fantastic.
Awesome.
Wow.
Look who we got, Mr. Lito and the lovely
Fantastic.
Jennifer. How are y'all doing, man?
We're
Hello.
good.
We finally got to meet them over a month ago in person. That was awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, a month already. Jesus.
It's good to see y'all, man. How y'all doing? Y'all doing okay?
Yeah, see, Pat, we're left out. We didn't get a tattoo. Well, I guess, Jennifer, you didn't get a tattoo either. But
I didn't know. I did not.
Yes. Pat, we should have got one.
Only
I
the cool
should've,
guys.
but-
Only the cool guys. Yeah.
Only the
We're not
cool
part of
guys.
the cool kids club.
Oh, boy.
So tonight we'll be talking Final Girls Bloodbath for those that are out there.
Yes.
And we were lucky enough to watch it, and we loved it. I want a full movie. That's why I had asked you guys if there was something you'd be shopping for a full film. Is that something in the works maybe down the road?
I don't know if it's in the works. I mean, you could definitely take this concept and run with it. And I already have an idea for a sequel, but we'll see what Ashley says.
Ooh. Dude, I really liked your composing of it. It was awesome, man. I was like, for somebody that has two of his favorite movies that music's important with Rocky and Halloween, that was awesome. So very well done.
Thank you very much. It's funny because what I ended up doing is the budget of the film was so low, because that's usually how it is on these kinds of projects. I actually cannibalized a score that I wrote for a feature film. So I took pieces from the feature film score, and I would like watch the Final Girls and try and think, okay, what do I want here and what do I want here? And then I went to the other score to see if I had it. And then I dropped it in and I sped cues up or slowed them down. And like, I even altered the pitch of a couple so they would like join together seamlessly. So, because I was just like, I can't write a new score because it takes so long. And if I'm not making money on it, it's like, I hate to be that way, but my time is, important. So.
That's awesome.
Of essence.
Ryan, our buddy Ryan in the chat.
Oh, wow.
Ryan,
Definitely have the assets to play Final Girls.
With the first borderline inappropriate comment of the night.
There you go.
And we've only just begun.
Yeah, I know, exactly. Shit.
Usually,
worry,
usually it's one of us three doing that, but we know better.
No, it's mostly Pat. Pat does it.
Oh yeah, actually, wait a minute, Joe. You're right. Yeah,
Pat. It's not us. Not us.
Joe. Somebody will tell my wife, and then I'll hear about it. She'll come down here.
If it's you, Brett, then we're like, wow, Bretty, wow.
You're like, oh, virgin ears. Ah.
Exactly.
So you guys should be on your best behavior, because your other halves just show up. Mine doesn't pay attention to this. She's upstairs. She's upstairs grooming the puppies right now. So that's what she's doing.
Yeah, she might make a guest appearance tonight. I invited her, so she might join us, fellas.
Well, this is the final appearance before the big day, too, right?
Yeah, that's very true. We get married on the 11th, so we're super stoked and excited. And we went to Worst Fest today. That's why I was running a little late. Yeah, I ain't rocking the attire, but there's only a chance we'll be able to go before heading out to Vegas. So super excited. Woo!
Yeah.
Cheers, everybody. Cheers. I know that's not fucking bottled water, Brett. No, sir. No, sir.
Is it bottled water?
I have something in the freezer. I was going to be good today because I've been working out the last week. I've been doing really good. Yes.
You trying to get my Lito or what?
I'm not supposed to be good on Sunday nights on the podcast. There's no being good. There's no crying in baseball.
I was at the getting a drink, and this guy was like, "Hey man, do you work out, bro?" I'm like, "No, not really." He's like, "Man, pretty big, bro." I'm like, "Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate you." He's like, "What's your secret?" I just drink beer, liquor,
You're like, I was a veteran.
Yeah. It's all in the presentation. It's not really much underneath. Nothing there.
I just get good and fucked up.
So by this time next week, you'll be married.
God willing, yeah. Fingers
You'll be a
crossed.
married man by this time.
Fingers crossed. Yep.
And actually, tomorrow I'll be married 24 years.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Bless
man.
your heart.
24 years.
Yeah. Hopefully, this isn't the year she kills me. Well, we'll see. Maybe next year, 25th.
I don't know how she
There's
does
that.
it. I don't know how she does it. I don't know.
You and me both. I have no idea.
Hey,
Who
man.
else is in the house?
Maddie in
Hey,
the
Matt.
house. What's up, big
Hi,
fella?
Matt.
Boy, Matt.
Hey, did anybody get hurt making that? Was there any injuries? The short film. Were there any
think so.
injuries? No?
I think it was just the standard crap that happens on independent films like this, like a few minor bruises, a few bumped knees and scrapes and maybe bumped elbows and things because you're moving so quickly. But it was all very minor. The thing I was most worried about is because she is so pale that every time I grabbed her arm, I forget because I get pretty deep into character, and I grabbed her arm so hard and I was like, oh shit, I'm going to bruise her arm. So, because we did it over and over and over. So like I had to remind myself as we got to the later takes after I grabbed it to like open my hand a little as I was holding it and let her kind of control what was going on. Cause I just forget sometimes because I'm, in character, and I was like, I'm sorry, honey. Like,
For sure.
Yeah,
Hey,
it was
Jennifer,
fine.
please, at any time in this broadcast, please signal us if you're having issues. Go on.
Yeah.
That guy
Once
right
for yes,
there.
twice for
Yeah.
no.
She's like the. Was it from Blank Check? The chicken has left the hen house.
That Disney film? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh,
That's got.
hi.
Hello.
Oh, hello there. Look at that hat. Oh, my Lord.
Where's Fest?
Nice.
We're repping the gear. Hey, honey, did the pizza get here? So she ordered pizza and all this shit. It's a big extravaganza. We're celebrating the new film from Mr. Lito and Miss Jennifer. We're excited.
Yes.
Woo!
Did you just have a bunch of
And
meat? Now
Ashley.
you having pizza?
Yeah. We need anything to like use as a catalyst to party. We need any little thing.
Your
Anything.
Sunday's like my Friday.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
It's Sunday Fun Day.
Yeah, she's already on vacation, and I have to work tomorrow, but I'm working
Kentucky.
from home, so I don't have to wake up till like 7.
Greg.
So that's sleeping in to me.
Greg,
That is
thanks.
We're
sleeping
good.
in.
Yeah. Hell yeah! So let's get into it, man. I'm excited. Hi, honey.
Chicken. The chicken's in the pot.
Lito, Jennifer, when did you guys film
Yeah.
this? What was the time frame? When did you guys film this? Hey, I want to ask questions, but I want people to watch this when it's available too.
Real quick,
so-
Matt, is that the Odd Couple? Because I'm thinking that's the
Oh.
Odd Couple.
Hey, Colorado.
The lovely Colorado. Who was our
Hey,
party
Joey.
person out in Cali that we met at the bar in the hotel.
Hello, dear. How are we?
Who sat in with us this past Tuesday for the our Halloween watch along on Halloween.
Halloween watch along marathon. We went pretty deep into the night watching the original Halloween and other things and chatting away.
Matt knows his movies. Yeah, we were talking about the chicken has left the hen
Yes,
house.
he does.
Well, remember Lito's been in a chat with Matt. Remember they're always competing who's going to get
Oh.
it. Matt's got like the ultimate internet. Remember that? He's
Either
Yeah,
he's got the ultimate internet or his fingers like,
Lito's like,
Yeah.
how did that happen?
Matt has a higher speed. That's what it is.
I
You
need
know.
his internet.
Matt has the single speed internet. Lito has the couple speed. He's got bills, damn it. Yeah, he got bills.
I think Matt types really, really, really fast. Honestly, I think that's what it is.
Awesome.
And I did upload the trailers so we can all watch them. Yeah, we'll wait for Ashley to get on here. I do have one comment to make. I think it's the coming one. It's coming soon one. Because there was a couple of them I saw on Ashley's page. And it's when, Jen, you're walking in with the other girls, I guess as you're walking into the audition, and the look you give them, and I just glanced real quick. It looks like you gave them a look like somebody just really farted really bad. Because you're walking and you're like,
Well, explain why you did that though. Remember
with the head flip.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had just been we did it several times, and we just started playing around with different things, and she went to like whip her hair, and I was like, oh, we're gonna do some stuff in slow mo, and I was like, I kind of just instinctually like just moved, and they were like, oh, do it again, and then that just kind of stayed.
Yeah, the Lindsey, the girl in the middle, when she flips her hair and Jennifer like dodges it, she looks back like, motherfucker, like
It was a look like somebody just took a shit. You were just like, oh,
yeah.
Like, oh, what is that? Oh,
when we play,
She
you
was-
look. Yeah.
She was disgusted by their behavior, I think.
Right.
Well, you know what? They'll be on. We can play it again later. Let me just do it so these guys can see what I'm talking about. Hold on. I think it was this one right here. Hold on.
that is true. The aroma. Oh.
That is
It
awesome.
looks like it's like, oh, Jesus.
It's like they had the number one fight for position because she got cut off, and then when she comes
Yeah.
around the corner, she whips her hair in her face. So I totally
She was
get it.
still-
She had stank face. I'd have stank face.
Hey, Rick, what's up? Hey, buddy, Rick.
Girl, who you messing with? Yeah, I get it.
You get it.
So Ashley's joining us and Lindsay, correct?
Yes.
At 6.
Oh, wow.
So they'll be here at 6 their time, 7 your time, and I guess 9 o'clock my time.
Yeah, very nice.
And we're all on different times because got that extra hour of sleep this morning, which was nice. But
Yeah, I always forget the chime change. That I'm always screwed up with that. So I thought we were an hour. I thought we were going to be really late to tonight, but then we gained an hour. So I'm like, all right, we're good.
Fall back, spring ahead, Joe. Fall
Yeah,
back,
we're
spring
good.
ahead.
We're good.
so
Did you
what we
guys?
can-
Well, I was just curious. Was there any cutting room floor stuff, or I guess we could? Should we wait to talk about that until?
Well,
was
we
curious.
can we'll answer a couple of questions real quick, just because I know that we probably want to save a lot of that for
Yeah,
the other
good point.
girls. But we filmed this on 2 days, and
Nice.
it was supposed to be 1 day. It was a very ambitious shoot because it was like 13 pages, I think.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of shots to get in 1 day. So there was a snafu on the first day thing. There was a miscommunication, let's just say. So the studio thought we were going to be out of there by like 6 p.m. And we were thinking like, we're supposed to be here till like 2 a.m. So like we had to clear out. So I basically, took the executive producers aside, which was like us and Ashley, and went in a room and I was like, look, we're not going to be able to finish this film like in an hour. It's just impossible. Like we'd have to be running through every shot and everything's going to be sloppy and the performances are going to suck. So let's just stop here and then we will add an additional day at some point in the future. And that's because you don't want to do it half-assed. So we had to add an additional day months later. It took a while to get that day scheduled because we needed to bring the entire crew back, and it was tough because they had moved on to other projects. So 2 days, and then there is some cutting room stuff, not a ton.
Right.
I will let Ashley adjust script, or let Ashley address script adjustments that were made on the fly, because originally, if you look at the poster for the film, Ashley has a bottle and Jennifer has a hammer. Well, there was initially, we had choreographed, there was a big fight scene between our characters, and we had safely choreographed her attacking me and me grabbing, the hammer as she comes down and twisting her arm and putting pressure on her pressure point. So her arm slowly opens and she drops the hammer, and then throwing her against the wall and into the barrel, and then, coming down. But all that stuff had to go just because, time and money. So it was like, okay, Jennifer, you get no fight. You just get fucked up. So spoiler alert, everybody. We should let everyone know. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Yeah. Brian, what's going on?
Hello, Brian.
People.
But
stuff
I like the
man.
fact that, with those kind of, restraints, like financial restraints, time restraints, and everything like that, it's like it allows you to become more creative, in my opinion. Like you have to like think outside of the box. You have to start putting pieces together that normally wouldn't go together. You know, to me, I think it leads to more creativity. So I like hearing that, man. That's really dope. That's dope.
Thanks. I would say it ended up leading to a lot of really interesting choices in editing because when we got the rough cut from Ashley, it was similar to the final cut in some ways, but almost the entire middle section of it, from the time the girls get there to like almost the time they get like physically attacked, that whole section was so different in the cut that she sent us. And Benny, who is an incredible editor and he's an amazing friend, he actually worked on Star Trek Picard. That shows you how talented he is.
Wow.
Yeah, he's one of our very good friends. We love this guy to death. He's such an amazing talent and so creative and such a nice guy. And I told him, I was like, look, we've worked on a bunch of projects before together. We have a history working together on documentaries and some of the films he's done. And I said, we need to tell more of this story, but I'm not sure how to put more of this story back in because the audio is not clean or the cut's not clean, or there was something that messed up in the background that like was really loud. And one of the actors, like it scared the crap out of them in one of the takes. So like they kind of like, I won't say who, but one of us broke character. So there was like little things that we had to work around, but Benny and I kept brainstorming and kept coming up with these different ideas and different solutions. And I told him, I was like, I'll make a bunch of cuts and I'll send you my cut. And I put in sound effects and I changed things and I moved shots around and I slowed things down. And I sent it back to him and he was like, this is a great start. Now I'll take over. And then we just kept talking and he kept coming up with all these amazing ideas because initially it was supposed to be her audition scene and then the other audition scene. But Benny came up with the brilliant idea of chopping them and using them, cutting back and forth between the two at the same time because he thought it showed the contrast more strongly. So he came up with all of these great creative solutions that really, in a lot of ways, kind of saved our film because there was so much stuff that it would have been even more, I think, brief and it would have felt less complete from a narrative standpoint. So I'm glad he was able to do that because I wasn't smart enough to think of a lot of them. So thank you, Benny.
No. That's awesome to hear, man. Collaboration is really important, man. And now in today's world, you know, it's very rare that somebody comes up with everything on their own. You got so many different departments and so many different aspects of a film, the creativity aspect, the special effects, the sound, the design, everything. It's a collaborative effort, man. So no, it's good to hear that you had that kind of mind meld, you know, to make something happen. That's lovely, man. That's lovely, brother.
I'm mind melding myself.
Oh yeah, brother. How much fun did you have, Jennifer? Did you have fun? Did you have fun doing this during the whole process?
I did. I was definitely very nervous at the start because I hadn't done anything like this before. And I typically like to be behind the scenes. I don't like to have a lot of spotlight on me. I like to be the behind the scenes person.
Sure.
So when Ashley approached me and I accepted, I was like, haha, what am I doing? But slowly over the course of the months up until filming, I became very, familiar with the script and we started going through everything choreography wise to the point where it was just memorized and you were just going through the motions and just making sure we were staying fresh with everything. But being on set was definitely interesting, just seeing how all the departments were working around each other and all the shorthand, like all the different like little names for things that I was like, what are you talking about? Like what's the one that
C-47.
C-47.
They call clothespins C-47s.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
There's just a lot of funny stuff that I picked up that it was just kind of wild and fascinating to watch because everybody's totally in their own zone. They know what they're doing between lights and setting up shots and stuff like that. So
they're professionals.
Yeah. The makeup and then special effects, watching that all come together just kind of seamlessly was wild.
Yeah.
For me.
That's awesome. I mean, you got to start somewhere, right? You got to
Right.
build. You got to build on top of these experiences, and that's amazing. I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Where did people contribute? Was this Indiegogo? Was this it was crowdfunded somehow, right?
It started off on GoFundMe, and then that campaign ended, and then we switched over to Indiegogo.
Nice. Very nice.
Very, very cool. I got some more questions, but I don't know if we want to wait until the girls get on because
we'll wait.
They could chime in, and we'll go through our usual spiel of stuff real quick. So this way we got 32 minutes, which I'm sure we can speed through things real quick. We just, as you guys have always seen, we always do our new additions to our collections, which I think aren't all that much, unless Joe went on a tear like he usually does.
My God, that's not nice.
No, so pre-wedding, no tear. I promise.
Tear, huh? I was worried about that.
I don't think so. I got a couple things, but they're not like, normal. But y'all go ahead. I mean, let me grab the stuff.
Yeah. Real quick, I did hit Spirit the day after Halloween, so I did pick up some stuff for 50% off. You always got to hit Spirit.
An Ends mask for 50% off? That's pretty decent.
Yeah, it was $40. I got the Ends mask. I never got the Ends mask. I'm not a big fan of the Party City ones because they're on top, but I can surgically remove it, so you won't even know. So that I got another one of the little pumpkin guys with the knife because this is actually a different mold, so it's actually different than the other year. So I got that for half off. A cling that's going to go on my truck because my other one is like dead to the world. And those lanyards, because when I go to work, I use those lanyards all the time with my ID badge at work, and they just get worn out. So I mean, 50% off, they're like $3. So I got 2 spare. So got that because they was rip. And of course, I broke down. I bought the Dr. Chalice, which a friend of mine is going to be taking from me because I don't want the extra chalice. I simply wanted the Tom Atkins signed Silver Shamrock coaster that came with it.
Rad.
It's a pretty big coaster.
I was surprised at how large the coaster is. Yeah, the coaster it's like this. No, hold on. Oh, it's right here. Look at that guy. Still haven't found a home for it yet. So yeah, it is. Look at the size of it.
Damn.
It's for a big ass beer.
It's for a Stein.
A Stein.
Yeah, really.
That time of the year for the Steins.
We had a bunch of Steins.
Today.
We had 2
Steins.
Steins today.
Steins.
What are they? What do they call those? The big leaders, right?
Yes. I like those and the Lito Holden. Lito Holden.
With the lemon twist. You're starting to sound like Serge.
I have some other ideas. Yeah, one of my Kiss fans.
No, it's okay. Don't forget it.
I did the solo album rankings, but there's some more stuff that's in the works. But definitely, I could talk all day. I could talk Kiss all day, like I could talk Halloween.
Is that? I'm not saying anything. Greg, he spelled Kiss with Z's. Is that something like? Do people do that?
Well, you know why? Because he was trying to spell like with the lightning bolts, but there's really nothing. There's no keystroke for the lightning bolt. And actually, in Germany, that's the way they're spelled because in Germany, the S's and the Kiss logo are changed to regular S's or sometimes even Z's because it represents the SS.
Oh, yeah.
So if you ever see Kiss albums from Germany, they don't have the regular Kiss logo on them.
You're walking in the dark. Okay. Oh, you're the best.
So you didn't think you'd find out any Kiss stuff tonight, did you guys?
No.
Taught me something I didn't know.
And Brady sent me some stuff here. Did I bring it Brady's stuff up? Hold on. Oh no, I did. Hold on. But Joe, you do yours because I thought I had Brady's up.
All right. So we purchased a number of these bastards at Worst Fest tonight. Woo! So we're feeling pretty good,
You're feeling pretty happy.
Pretty good. So at that same location, we did this. I've never done this. MB has, but our caricatures.
Oh, that's awesome.
Bro, look at this. They got our necklaces and shit. I was like,
you need that. You need that as a background on like a banner.
I mean, I'm not complaining. He made us look Asian. I was like, what the fuck is that?
You got a little Jerry Garcia in you there,
I
Jim.
know. No shit.
That's going to be the cover of your thank yous after your wedding.
Like, son of a bitch. I was like, all right. I guess that's what we get. But all right. Then, of course, y'all know I love my Donatello. So these are actually gifts from my mother, my soon-to-be mother-in-law. God bless her heart. Look at this. She got me a talking Donnie. Look at that. I love my Donatello. Cowabunga. And then I really had my eyes on these, but I didn't want to spend the money, but she bought them. So look at this. The Turtles in Disguise party pack. Look at this. So you got Raphael. Oh, that's Mikey. You got Leonardo as a cowboy. Raph as a space guy. And my favorite, Donatello as Spock. Look at that.
Where's this construction guy? Then it's like the village people.
So Donnie was the best part because he was Spock. I was like, dude, that's the best. So that's that. And we checked the mail, and we finally got this little bastard finally.
Oh, did they put it in a tight little box like they did?
Yes, I couldn't get it out of the box.
Yeah, you got like a shoehorn to get it out. Mine was damaged. I actually reached out to them. I'm waiting to hear back from them.
But in all honesty, there was no damage to the box.
Same with mine. I think Pat got the raw end of the deal on that one.
Yeah, I was impressed. I was like, damn,
do.
it's pretty good. It's like vacuum sealed in a box. But this guy's cool. It's very light though. I feel like I'm buying shit from Five Below. Like,
Well, you guys have the H3 ones. Are the H3 ones just like that?
They're just like that. Yep, the H3.
Yeah.
Super light, bro. I was like, this ain't worth the dog shit. But hey, it looks cool. And
Those in the
then,
house.
Oh, our friend Bill. Hi, Bill. Good evening, Bill.
Hello.
Billy, he'll kill me. But no, that's it, guys. That's everybody. That's everything I got.
Cool. Yeah, it was
Bill's
a fun
from
week for all of us.
The Tinley Park area.
Billy.
And
movie?
Brett got basically the same thing as me. He got the Chalice figure
Yes.
with the coaster.
That's fucking blasphemous. Have I ever seen it?
Yes, it's a very sore subject with the collectors, isn't it?
Yeah. So and that's why I'm up every time I mention the 1031 giveaway on my channel. I call it the not so exclusive Chalice figure because it's not so exclusive anymore since they just released it to everybody after the H45.
I'm sure Sean's been bombarded at a convention somewhere about it.
That Halloween movie kind of collector.
Yeah, the kind of collector. Yeah, I had a good week last
That
week.
Halloween cosplay collector.
What's up?
Ray.
You rang.
He was also on our
What's
watch
up,
along.
Lurch?
He was also on our watch along, and you guys met him as well. That's right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What's up, man?
The big fella.
I think Greg asked, is the movie out? Which movie are you asking about? Ours?
Oh, are you talking about the film that we're talking about tonight? No, not yet.
Yeah, we'll have information on that later.
Yep, as soon as one of the actresses as well as the director and the other actress.
Are they out west with you guys?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We've worked with Ashley on a handful of projects, obviously all through the house. And then Lindsey we'll let Ashley tell the story of how Lindsey got cast because it's pretty funny. Although it was really frightening at the time. It was like, uh-oh. So
Awesome.
We got to have you guys on for a watch along in September for All Through the House. I mean in December for All Through the House.
I was like, we're waiting till next year.
Yeah. Now for December, I'm like, because usually in September we like to do all the horror movies, as our watch alongs, and we definitely get. And if we do it, you guys got to come on. We'll all watch it together.
Mhm.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We can
No,
tell you secrets.
Did y'all get any collectibles? Did y'all get anything new? Did y'all get anything of any sort?
Did we? I'm trying to think. No,
From the
but
convention? No.
well,
Or anything?
not from
Just in
the
general.
no. But I'll tell you real quick. You see this? Move that way. You see this glass cabinet over here
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
from IKEA? There used to be one over there, straight across the room, where you can't see it. And one night we came back from Halloween Horror Nights, and I always check the apartment when we get home for her safety, just to be sure that because it's LA, you never know. So I came into the office to check the office closet, and I looked down, and there was just fucking tempered glass everywhere.
Oh.
And I was like,
Oh.
and I thought someone broke in. So I was like, I clenched up because I was like getting ready to like throw a fist, and I rounded the corner and I looked, and the whole side of that cabinet just like imploded.
What?
So yeah, and we researched it.
Right. Apparently, this happens with those
With
cabinets.
The death tolls from IKEA.
Mhm.
I have
They
two
just
of them. They're right here.
spontaneously explode.
Be careful. Make sure you don't over tighten the top bolts because apparently that's what does it. But I had to take every collectible out of there, and I had the most expensive Hot Toys figure in my collection. The Don Corleone from the original Godfather was in that case.
Oh boy.
And so like I had to like carefully dust him off and use tweezers and things to take the glass so it wouldn't scratch his coat or his skin. And I was just like, oh my God, like, because
bro, that's a bummer, dude. Fuck.
I'm big into the Hot Toys.
Yeah, Hot Toys rock, dude.
So
Yeah.
Lito, you're stepping on glass just to make sure Marlon Brando's okay. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
That's weird how they
fucking-
just come apart like that. It's like they're like the drummer from Spinal Tap. They just explode.
That makes me fucking worried. Now I'm gonna be like, what the fuck? Shit.
Yeah.
I got all my most valuable shit is in that thing. 2 of them.
Oh,
yeah.
you know what I wanted to ask you guys?
Yeah.
I saw Jennifer your videos out in South Pasadena. How much fun was that? That looked like a lot of fun that you guys are having. A lot of
It
people.
was a lot of fun.
A lot of people.
It used to be very chill. Like there would only be maybe 10 people like at the Myers house or something. And he would go up there and stand and take photos and stuff. And we'd move around. Last year we went and we even got there early and there was like 300 people right around the house. It was madness, but it was because the Halloween movie had come out.
Well, it started,
So-
I think it started to get like that, honestly, in 2019.
Yeah.
That's when it started to just, the population of
Escalate.
people on Halloween night started to quickly
Girl.
like,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I can
And it's
imagine.
gotten bigger and bigger every single year. So it was a lot of fun, but it's one of those things where it was like, you better be ready to spend time like in the neighborhood and knocking on doors or hanging out or whatever,
Yeah.
because every single street we went down, there was a crowd. And it's great because, you know, she looked amazing, and playing Michael is like one of my favorite things. So it's like, it's tons of fun to interact with everybody. But like, I looked at her and I was like, is it going to be bigger next year? Because like, if it is, it's like, you're not going to even be able to walk down the streets anymore.
Yeah.
So
It's always fun to follow him because the fascination is particular of little kids.
Mhm.
They're either terrified or they want to hug him or they want to be held. And it's just like, okay. and I always I follow with candy and I hand it out to the kids and he'll take candy and hand out to the kids. And they absolutely love him.
And
but-
you're methoding this, I'm sure, right?
It's a
You're
lot of
method, or are you talking when you're doing this, Lito?
No,
you're
I
not
never
talk.
break. I don't
You
break
never break.
character, and I do the heavy breathing and everything. And
Yeah.
if I lurch for someone, I even do the like from the original Halloween. So
I'm usually his voice.
yeah,
And I'll tell, because a lot of people will be like, is that knife real? Because it's a big knife. So I'm always like, no, it's not real. He's safe. You can go up to him. It's okay.
or I'll stab the knife into my leg. Like if I see, sometimes I'll see fathers like, which I applaud them for doing, really like examining the knife and like pushing their kid
'Cause
aside.
you never know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when I see that, I'm super observant. So if I see that, I like flip the knife around and put it into my leg and it doesn't go anywhere. So they're like, oh, okay. So
Yeah.
Now the
But we did have a few people call him Jason, and then somebody called him Freddy. It's like, no.
No, I actually
Close.
I could think like if Jennifer has to speak for you, it adds to the spookyism. It adds to it, like you know what I mean. Like oh okay, I'm still kind of scared. You know, like I like that.
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude.
I can
Like,
see when somebody calls
he's
you.
committed.
Yeah, I
I
like
can
it.
when you're doing like if somebody calls you Jason or Freddy, you're doing like the Michael from H2O with this head. Oh! Grabbing his head like. Oh, then again, it wasn't him supposedly. Oh my God, Joe, your hair. Anyways.
That's
Oh,
right,
yeah,
Bill.
you're
You and
guys-
Brady had
You
snow.
guys have no idea. We're getting there.
Yeah, you guys had snow in Chicago on Halloween Day.
Yeah, we sure as hell did. Froze my rear end off outside.
man,
I miss trick or treating
It
with
was
the
like
kids.
80 degrees here.
But you know
say?
what?
It
Nothing
was like
works like,
80 here.
nothing works like a Myers mask keeping your face warm.
That's true.
Gotta love the post acne from wearing the mask all fucking day.
Gross.
Oh, dude, because you know what it's like. You know, it's like I wore it for Halloween, and that shit, dude, you get all sweaty, and the next day you have pimples and nasty little outbreaks, and ugh.
Although I'll tell you a trick that I learned during the pandemic, and I started using it then out of necessity, and I still use it today because it helps. If you wear some sort of cloth mask underneath the Myers mask, which like I said, I did in the pandemic. It catches a lot of the condensation.
Yeah.
So the amount of moisture inside the mask is cut by at least like 50%. So
yeah, you did that at age 45. That's right.
What do you?
yeah, I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
Like an old T-shirt, or what are you talking about? Like just
I actually bought him. It's Tommy Copper masks. They're really thin, but they're soft and very comfortable to wear.
oh, okay, that's good advice.
They usually, I think, like on the website, they have them in like 2-packs, or Amazon has them.
And you can wash them and reuse them. You can use them like thousands of uses, it says, because of what it's made out of. But like, it's not even, if you're outside in Pasadena, I'm not worried about COVID. I'm just using it to keep from, because like a cold sweat, as you know, is awful. Like, and you usually end up getting a cold the next day. So I was like,
Yeah.
if it's going to keep me from getting sick, then great. So
Yeah, that, and also like you get that nasty, funky, like latex smell, like like it's on your hair, it's in your pores.
I know that
It's like-
smell.
It
I know that
stinks. It's pretty gross. But anyway, I digress.
Now, the best part about putting on a mask, because I do have like a Myers mask, I will put on every so often, and I'll just put it on and just walk through the house, and the look. Well, my other dog used to just bark at me, so I take it off. But the puppies just look like this. They don't even move. They're not scared. They're just, and as I'm walking, they're just like. Because usually I was like, they're not even running. I'm like, I think they're just like trying to process it. Like, what the hell? It looks like the fat guy that feeds me, but why is his face different?
He smells the same.
Yeah, he smells like cigars and beer. It's got to be the fat guy, but I don't understand. It looks different.
It's too funny.
But yeah, so we got 16 minutes till they should be popping on. You guys want to do our top 5 that we were talking about? You guys have any ideas on it?
Ooh.
I do.
I know I did.
Who wants a mustache ride? I do.
Yeah.
Super Troopers.
We could do our quick. We'll do our quick top 5. Hold on one moment. Joe's favorite song.
You know, every time that you guys cut to one of your credits things, first of all, I love all your graphics and the credit things. Second of all, every time I see it, I'm thinking, great graphics from Freddy's Dead.
Freddy. Great graphics.
Right, I'll write that down. That might not be so bad.
Oh my god.
We did do our top 5. We did do top 5 boobs in a horror movie.
We never did.
And I missed it.
And we also did our top 5 booby snubs where we thought we were going to see them and they didn't show them.
You know, because nipples is universal. It could be male or female. It doesn't have
on my
to
Christmas list every year. Big fan.
Yeah. I mean, you like hair, no hair, large areola, small. Like, there's so
Did you say
much
hair?
criteria. We're a diverse team here. We're not just pro. You know, this is a female and male show.
Sure.
Come on now.
Represent everybody.
That's right.
Joe's trying to dig himself out.
Yeah.
I know some male nipples that look pretty good.
Dig up.
Bill's got a good question there. Is everyone looking forward to the Thanksgiving movie, Eli Roth's?
I haven't seen the trailer. I saw that there was a trailer, but I got to check it out.
Look, to me, it's like a timepiece, like Halloween, Thanksgiving.
But his name is great. Isn't it Tony Carver?
Fuck.
Well, you remember it was one of those phony trailers from the Tarantino movie, the Death Proof, and what was the other one? I forgot the first one. So now they're finally making it a full-length feature. It's pretty cool.
Planet Terror? Was it
Planet Terror? Yeah.
Like, what's next? President's Day. Like, what the fuck? They just keep naming holidays after films. I'm like,
hey,
all right.
Joe, It's a Wonderful Knife.
Yeah. It's like, come on. We got Valentine's Day. We got
prom night.
Every holiday is covered pretty much nowadays.
We have New Year's Evil, right?
Yeah.
We're here
You
every
know?
Sunday night, Greg, 8:00. Actually, although next
Yes, Greg.
weekend, I think next weekend we're not doing a show because next Saturday, next Sunday, I'm going to see Brother Kane, and Joe's getting married on
Yeah.
Saturday.
I'm gonna be
Maybe we'll
jacked.
do our Tales from the Dark Side thing, Pat. Maybe we could work on that.
We
or
could do
something.
that. Yeah, we should do that. We talked about doing a watch long of Tales from the Dark Side because we're both geeks and we love it.
Yeah, start watching. Did you watch that, Lito? Back in the day?
Yes. That kind of like weird graphic thing they would have when they would cut scenes. And
They're
stuff.
showing the house and everything. Yeah.
Man lives
Yeah.
in the sunlit world of what he appears to be reality. I love when the guy
Like
goes,
creepy
"What?"
music. Yeah.
Pat, that was good.
All right, so we'll do our quick top 5. We'll see if we can get it through here real quick. So my number 5 top 5 movie gets me right after because everybody always has post Halloween blues. As much as we love Halloween, but on November 1st you get that post Halloween hangover. But to get me set in the mood for what's going to be coming, like the cold weather, the snow, my number 5, The Shining.
Wow. Nice.
Fun.
Yeah.
Let's go. We'll go clockwise.
Johnny.
We'll go clockwise. Clockwise. Okay.
Cluck.
Jen and-
We're
Jen and
next?
Lito. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're next.
I don't. Have
Okay,
one.
so she's deferring to me because she says I don't have one. She says I usually just watch what you put on when it's horror.
That
So
sounds like my wife.
My wife's the same way. Yep. She's like, I don't know. She just puts it on.
I think I would probably choose Silent Night, Deadly Night as my number 5 because it's we usher in the Christmas season really fast in our house. We take down all the Halloween stuff and we put up all the Christmas stuff on November 1st.
Oh,
Because
you're
if we don't,
you're those
I get
people.
serious depression. Yeah, if we don't, I get some serious post-Halloween depression. So she makes it very festive, and so Silent Night, Deadly Night. It's never too early to watch it in our house. So
Does the music go on though that early too though?
Not the music. No.
no,
Okay.
Just decor.
Nice.
Yeah, my wife tries. Like if I get in the car with her, like if I'm like tomorrow night we're going out for our anniversary and she'll probably drive because she's a backseat driver and we wouldn't have made 24 years if she didn't drive everywhere. I would have killed her a long time ago. But she'll be driving and I can guarantee she'll try to put Christmas music. I'm like, Not yet. I love Christmas music. Don't get me wrong. I love it. Just not yet.
You have
Not
two
yet.
type of people. You
Yeah.
got the people that hold on to Halloween, and then you got the people that are like immediately as it's over, they're like watching the Santa Claus or whatever. And it's like, and then you have a little bit of a rivalry too. You know, you got
Love that.
I don't like each
It's
other.
awesome.
That's honestly, we don't like each other, and I don't like the people that do that. I don't like the Santa Claus people. I
Great
don't.
film. Dutch.
know.
Love Dutch.
The music, it's got to wait until Black Friday for me. We'll just wait. That's when the music turns
The
on.
fucking movies, Target is full of shit for Christmas. Walmart,
Mhm.
like, get the fuck. How do you say it, buddy? Get the fuck out of here! Get the fuck out of here! Yeah, don't do that to me. Let me buy the shit that's on discount. Get the fuck out of here!
Somebody else, I said it myself.
Yeah, let me get through my post Halloween blues by buying shit at a discount, please. And then you got the rest of the fucking next 2 months, whatever.
We got the radio in our kitchen, and I was making dinner the day after Halloween, so Wednesday. And the one station we have here locally, 93.9, starts Christmas music the day after Halloween. So I blast that. The first song is that Mariah Carey song. My wife's like, "You better turn that damn shit off until
Turn it
next
off.
month."
Turn it off! No! Quit! Stop it! Stop it!
Wait till after Thanksgiving.
Stop it!
I turn it to Rain Man. I'm like,
So where we're at, okay, you guys, you said Silent Night, Deadly Night. I'm gonna throw a different one out there because I haven't watched it in a long time, but I remember watching it usually right after Halloween for some strange reason. Stuart Gordon's Dolls. You guys ever
I like
seen that
Dolls.
movie?
Dolls. Wow.
Yes, Stuart
Good
Gordon's
film.
Dolls.
I like Dolls.
Short film, 77 minutes, not even 80 minutes long.
And you know what? And I think okay, we got something in common. I'm gonna piggyback on that a little bit. That's a good point right there, my friend. Good
Oh.
choice. Good
What
choice.
do you got,
Yes.
Joe? Big Joe?
No, okay. So my film is from '96, Hellraiser Bloodline. So that movie runtime is 1 hour and 25 minutes. Super short film. It's something about short films that I just love post Halloween because like you get that itch and then you can move on. So yeah, have y'all seen that one, Bloodline? You know that.
Yeah,
That was the fourth one, I believe, right?
Yeah, I can't remember. It was the first. It was a first feature film of Adam Scott, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm a big Adam Scott fan. I love him. He was in that. He was in a movie where he was the dad to the Spawn of Satan. I can't remember the name of the movie.
You want to come say hi? Come on.
The shit was hilarious. But anyway, big Adam Scott fan. It was his first film. Kim Myers was in it. I love that movie. So yeah, that's my number 5. Bloodline.
it's got that movie. Well, first they just put out a box set. Arrow Video in Great Britain put out a box set that has the work print of Bloodline on it that I am very eager to watch because I want to see what that looked like before they did the reshoots and they chopped the shit out of it because the script is actually pretty good. Like if they'd have left it as is, I think it would have done much better. Just say
it's so fat. It's a grand scale film. Like it doesn't feel like it, but like you're dealing with like generations of family and the in space and all that. Like it's such a great film. Like toy maker, like everything is so great. I love that movie. It's my favorite Hellraiser, honest to God, except for part 1,
nice.
And 2. So it's that one, then 2. Because it's just I remember watching that when I was younger for the first time. So it's great fucking movie.
I was never into the Hellraiser movies as much, but somebody had told me that Pinhead's not even 10 minutes in the first Hellraiser. He's like barely in it. I was like, really?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bloodline is
also
a specific wine.
I don't want to forget Bloodline also has an amazing score that sounds more like the first 2 films than the third film. I like the score from the third film, but the score to the fourth film feels so much more like Christopher Young that I love that score.
We should do a watch along of Bloodline, all of us. I think we would love that.
I wouldn't have a problem because it's been a minute since I've seen it, so I remember.
Saw it a long time ago. I know that was a very popular one though.
Yeah, it'd be dope. Fucking dope.
Hellraiser Bloodline, aka Pinhead in Space.
Yes. Yes.
It's Hellraiser X is what you're saying.
Trains and Automobiles,
But it's not as
given.
corny as Jason X. I swear to God. It's not.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, absolutely, it's a given every year. I'll have that on at some point.
That would probably be my first non-horror one. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I put all horror on here. Why? Because I'm fucked up that way. But it's
a horror. This is a horror podcast technically. So
yeah, well, we do comedy.
We do. Yeah, absolutely.
We
had our Stripes moments.
Yeah, we did Stripes.
Caddyshack. Did we do Caddyshack?
Major League.
Major League. Well, that was a great watch long. We had a lot of people on that one.
Which one is like
Kingpin? Kingpin was good.
Oh, Kingpin's the best.
Just throw the ball.
Just throw it.
Or this was a watch along right here.
That's terrible.
Good God.
Good golly.
You got a number 4?
My number 4 is actually the movie that we're watching on Tuesday night, and we're going to do a review later on tonight. Slumber Party Massacre.
You sexy beast.
I love that movie. It's like comfort food. It's like Sleepaway Camp. It's the same thing. It's like comfort food. You just put it on and enjoy it and just enjoy the campiness of it. So,
and that killer is going to be at Days of the Dead here next week, and I have to get him.
The unlimited amount of knockers in that film is just a reason to watch it.
A lot of boob, but just got that gratuitous. Let's just change our clothes scene so we can.
Yeah, let's just be honest. Like, there's just an obscene amount of knockers in that film. Not complaining. It was like, I'll put that on any time of day.
Joe, I like that hat on you. Keep it on.
Thanks, buddy.
Yes, that was my wife passing through. I was trying to get her over here, but she's like, I'm in my pajamas. Leave me alone. Tried. Okay, what do you guys got?
Okay, so our number 4 would probably be All Through the House.
There you go.
Oh, wow.
Oh, look at that.
Very nice.
We got to watch it every year, and we watch it a few times, so.
Very nice.
Very cool. What about you,
Nice.
Brady?
Well, this one is not exactly like Thanksgiving, but it involves family getting together and eating and a little dysfunction. You said it kind of before, Pat. We love this movie. You're Next. You're Next is awesome.
Oh, I love You're Next.
Sharni Vincent. Oh, man. She's awesome. Did I say Sharna or Sharni Vincent, right? I forgot.
Sharni.
Oh, just a great. So,
Lito, do you like that film?
Yeah.
It's creepy. Yeah.
It's different, right? Yes. In the
Quick,
fun
so,
way.
so we can end on number 4. Joe, shout out yours real quick because I see Lindsey just entered the green room.
Oh yeah, let's knock it out. So my number 4 is The People Under the Stairs, Wes Craven.
Good
Roach,
stuff,
I like Roach.
Joe.
91. It's like
So we'll pick up from
Roach,
we'll
all
pick
that
this up after we're done. We'll pick it up. So let me just clear this out, and because I don't want her sitting there waiting. That's rude. It's rude. So let's welcome her in.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Well, did we get started already?
Well, we joined at 5, and we were just kind of hanging out with the guys because we've been on the podcast a handful of times.
Oh, okay. All right.
Old friends.
I was worried I was late.
No, you're fine.
good.
You're
Not at
fine.
all. You are perfectly on time, dear.
Welcome. So yeah, hopefully Ashley will be jumping in soon. We've already seen it. Lito was gracious enough to let us watch it first. So it's fantastic. We had so much fun with it. I told as soon as we were done, I told Lito, I said, I want more. I want like a full movie. Let's go. Let's see the rest of it. And you guys were so much fun. Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah.
How do you say your last name, Miss Lindsey?
Lemke.
Lemke. Nice to meet you, Miss Lemke. Pleasure.
Yeah. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, I'm Joe. This is Brett. That's Pat.
Hello.
And then, of
Hi.
course, you know Mr. Lito and Miss Jennifer.
Yes,
So
I do.
pleasure to have you on, my dear.
Actually, was it you? Hold on one second. I'm flipping through pages because I made notes. If I don't make notes, I don't remember anything anymore. So I made notes.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah, it's this old age thing sucks.
I'm excited. So we're waiting for one more, correct?
Okay, I just want to make sure there's no
Yes.
notes.
Uno
Yeah,
mas?
we're just waiting for Ashley to join. So,
Okay.
you guys want to talk about anything about how you guys got involved in it?
Lindsay, do you want to tell your casting story?
Yes. So it was about 11:45 at night, and I was getting ready for bed, which is early for me anyway. And I got a missed call from Ashley, who's the writer and director of this. And I thought it was a butt dial just because usually people text nowadays. I don't care either way. But sorry, I'm blanking out. I had a lot of sugar before this. So I called her back just to see, like, hey, was there a missed call? What's going on? And she was building up to something like somebody got sick. And I'm just like, are you asking me to be a part of your film? And she's like, yes, I'm so sorry. I know it's last minute. So I was really excited about it. And it was one of those things where I think I had to be up at 5 or 6 in the morning. It was very early. I had not memorized the lines because there just wasn't any time really, because I was getting ready with wardrobe. I was just packing a big bag and just getting everything ready for the morning, and then learning the lines in between everybody else's take. So that's my casting story.
Awesome.
Nice.
Have you had any acting credits before this?
Yeah, so I started my acting career in Austin, Texas. I had worked on a bunch of Robert Rodriguez films in what year was that? That was like around 2013. He was doing Machete Kills.
Yeah.
I was in those movies. And from there, I was doing a lot of commercials and short films.
Wow.
And it was all within the horror genre, which was really exciting to me because that's my love of a lot of film.
Fantastic.
Now, Robert Rodriguez, I heard he cooks for his entire crew. Did he do that when you were working with him or no?
Not on the films I worked on,
Oh, okay.
or at least not on the days I worked.
Yeah, I live here personally. I live here. I'm from San Antonio. So for me, it's like I'm a big Robert Rodriguez fan. So those films you just mentioned, that's like personal to me. I love those films. I'm a big fan of his. So that's really gnarly.
Me
That's
too.
awesome.
And it was really exciting because I had grown up to those movies, and it was a dream of just, hey, wouldn't it be cool to be in a Robert Rodriguez movie?
Yeah.
So that all caught me by surprise because I was doing music at the time, and it had gotten slow because I had moved from Minneapolis to Austin, Texas, and I just didn't really have a creative foundation. I've been wanting to act since I was a kid, but I just didn't really know how to go about it. So it was being on those films, I was able to talk to people to see. And it was as simple as, at least in that region, getting headshots and going to an agent. But yeah, when I was on Sin City 2, that was really exciting. And Robert came up to me and he's like, thank you so much for being on this film. He's like, isn't it great? It's like being in the first one. I'm like, that's cool. You're excited about your movies the same way. Because that's like what I'm feeling right now.
No, that's
Looks like
awesome.
Ashley's ready to join us.
Yeah.
Yeah. To me, I thought it's 6 o'clock.
No, you're perfectly on time.
You're all right.
I am.
You're good.
You're fine.
You're fine.
Perfectly fine. Perfectly
No,
fine.
I'm not. Am I
I
late?
thought the same thing, Ashley, when I got on.
What's that?
I thought I was late too when I got on.
Oh, how long have you guys been on?
Since
Well, Lindsey got here about like 5 or 6 minutes ago. Jennifer and I were on earlier because we go way back with Pat, Brett, and Joe, and we've been in a few
Catching
other
up.
podcasts.
Catching
So,
up.
Yeah.
We were
Basically
just
catching
getting
up.
things warmed up for you ladies. That's all. We were warming it
Okay,
up.
I thought I was so late. I thought like daylight savings screwed me.
No, you're fine.
Conversation going, and I'm like, did this start at 5? Did I not get the right time? Yeah, no, that I was really nervous because I'm like, oh my god, I look like a jerk. What's going on here? Hey.
Oh, hello.
no, so welcome. Now you're fine. Yeah, we started a little bit earlier because we were all just chatting and just going over some other stuff. But now it's great. Now that everybody's here, so we were talking about how the project started. You know, where did it start from the ground up, so to speak?
I guess I'll start there. Okay, so I went to a film festival with my friend Jennifer Nangle, and it was for her short film, a film that she was in called Drift. And I don't know what it was about that festival because I've been to plenty of festivals before, but for some reason I left so inspired, like more inspired that I was willing to do stuff that I've never thought I would ever do, which is go home and start writing a script. So that's kind of like where the spark came for me. And then later, like maybe like a week or so later, I was actually on Jennifer Nangle's set in this warehouse where I play a part in one of her segments in her feature Body Count. And the studio set the tone for my idea of Final Girls Bloodbath. And yeah, so then I went home and I just started writing the script, and the whole time I had Lito in mind.
Awesome.
I like practically wrote that for Lito because, you know, me and Lito, we go way back, and anytime I've ever done any kind of work with him, he was wearing a mask. And I know that he's great at wearing a mask because he is really good at being able to show emotion through body language. And but I wanted him to have the opportunity to show his face and act and have words. And so I kept that in mind as I was writing the script. That's kind of where it got started.
That's awesome.
And that's my funny story. So we met Jennifer and Lito through a mutual friend on this podcast, and it was great because we're all from different parts of the country. So we went to the Halloween convention, and we were able to meet Jen and Lito finally in person, which was one of the highlights of our weekend. But it was funny. So that Friday night we get there, may or may not have had a little bit too much to drink. So the next day. We go to the convention, and I'm standing on a line to get something. And so somebody dressed as Michael Myers comes over and starts standing next to me. I'm like, of course he's not talking because he stays in character.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, this looks great. And he's still standing there. And he's still standing there, not saying a word. He's just standing there staring at me. I'm like, great. Then finally, like 5 minutes go by, and he's like, he takes me, Pat, it's me, Lito. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, why is this guy staring at me?
You're like, oh!
Oh, I love it.
It was hysterical.
I know this asswipe.
Yeah, that's that idiot from the podcast. I know that idiot is. He finally get to see each other in person, which was awesome. It was fantastic. But yeah, well, like once he's in that character, that's it.
Mm-hmm. But that's like him with any character. That's how he was on set as William. Just like completely in it. I mean, we have a moment. I mean, my audition scene itself is, I was very impressed that he was able to hold it together in character, because Jennifer is like, you know, this brilliant audition and, you know, easily in the moment, where Rose is just like, you know, not there. So kudos to, you know, Lito for doing that.
What I did write down
it wasn't easy.
What I did write down, because when I was watching it, what the character that you portrayed as Rose, I did make a note here, and it reminded me so much of what was the girl's name in Halloween Ends? The one that worked in the office with
The red
Michelle Dawson. Michelle Dawson,
the red
the
hat?
actress.
Yeah, she was at the convention. Yeah.
Yeah, because she's just very, like, you know, almost airy, like very airheaded type. And I was like, oh my God, this reminds me so much of the girl from Ends. It was perfect. It was funny.
I love that.
But I know,
love homages.
yeah, and I know we can't get too spoilery to talk too much. But I was asking Lito before. So on the 17th, when it premieres, where can people see it?
We are in the process of getting things set up for November 17th. And it will be through my Patreon page. And you just sign up for, you know, the tier that it's under, and you'll be able to watch it. So
Awesome.
Nice.
And I was going to say, we'll publicize it on the Facebook page and the Instagram and her Instagram and our Instagram and her. So yeah, we'll be sure that you get those links.
Our Instagram, we'll do it.
I am highly looking forward. My wedding's on the 11th, but then we're going to be on the honeymoon for that next week, and my birthday is on the 16th. So we will be driving home on the 17th for about the next 2 days. So I can't think of a better thing to watch while we're on the road. Honestly, God. So
I love it.
we get to watch it.
Congratulations to you.
Thank you, dear. So I'm super excited. And you said something. I was like, ooh, I get to watch that on the road. Not bothered by nothing. And, you know, it's going to be on the iPad. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great.
I love it.
Yeah, for sure.
And, you know, we're going to give a spoiler alert, because we will discuss a couple of things, but we won't give every single detail away, because we don't want to spoil it for everyone. But if you want to talk in a grander spoilery scale, we'll either deny or confirm or have no comment. Maybe I don't know how the other ladies want to handle this. So
Let me see. I made notes, and let me see if I get around those notes without being too spoilery. All right. So one scene is, I don't know if this is not going to spoil anything, because it doesn't make or break anything. With the scene with Lito with the inhaler. Because I'm an asthmatic, so I was just like, that's cool, representing the asthmatics.
I'm a respiratory therapist, by the way, so I appreciate inhalers. So yeah, inhale away, by the way. Inhale away.
Well, I was going to say, Ashley had that in the script from the beginning, and I just happened to have asthma, so it was easy for me to bring the props. So.
The real deal.
Like, this is my real medication.
There you go.
I wanted to have like this suspenseful look. Like, I wanted him to come off as creepy, but then, you know, then little things happen that you're just like, oh, okay, maybe not so much. So it kind of just confuses. Plus, my DP, David Navarro, he came up to me when we were discussing our storyboard and shot list. He was just like, I have this, you know, vision of like, you know, Alien, you know, like Ripley and like just like the side profile like coming into the screen. I was like, oh my God, that's perfect. That's a perfect introduction.
Hell yeah.
And that inhale really did make me jump in that scene. It was just like, you're right there. Cool.
You know, and COVID, you know.
Well, and Lito did such a great job too. So I have not seen his stuff with the mask on, but I was really, really impressed with his acting for this role.
Well, I meant to say earlier, and I totally forgot, because I'm a wee bit, a little bit of special cookied. But Lindsey, I was going to say, I said this before in another podcast, and I'll say it again for this audience. You couldn't tell that she was on the fly, learning lines, like maybe kind of having that freak out moment that actors sometimes have, but they keep it on the inside. Like, you couldn't tell at all. Like, she was really prepared. She was a total pro. She nailed her lines. She nailed her emotion. Like it was very easy to play off of her because it was like, you kind of just are this person. So this is really easy because, you know, I don't really have to act too much. So
Well, and that's what was so exciting because it actually did give me the challenge because the goal is to be a working actress. And that's the job. It's not that, hey, when you're on set, the reality, I think, especially with day player roles and stuff like that, the reality is there's not enough time to prepare your emotions. I don't know what that's like for A-listers. Maybe they get more of that, but when you're there to work and you're there to nail it. And
you
for me,
nailed
it
it.
was exciting because the pandemic slowed things down so much, and it was I do better when I'm in it. You know, acting classes are great. I show up for them, but you're sitting back a lot of the time. So this was really fun way to be able to show up, to prepare. I was in really good company. You guys were amazing. You made it easy, and just do it. And it's a great way to be out of your head.
And you completely saved this entire project, by the way.
Definitely.
Thank you.
I was just totally impressed that
I'm like, okay,
I'm so many lines.
I'm not working. I'm like, I don't need that much sleep. Okay, yeah, I can shower tonight and get everything ready. And like,
oh my god,
it was fun.
I mean, for me,
I was able to get some sleep that night because of you.
it doesn't. To
So
me,
I
it doesn't matter.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's fine. I just wanted to interject the fact that it doesn't matter what profession it is that you're in. It's good nowadays to just find people that do their job, and they take it serious and they're professional and they get it done. It's hard nowadays to find that. So I just wanted to interject that. So that's good. That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Well, like especially like because I'm such a newbie to all this, to watch her come in, to watch Lindsey just come in and be like, she's been like, hey, it's been like 5 hours. Okay, here we go. And she's like reading lines and she's memorizing them right on the fly. And like she had quite a bit of dialogue. So
that's called being a professional.
Physicality and all that too.
Yeah.
It was very impressive.
Thank you.
Called being.
How long ago was it filmed? How long ago was it filmed?
What was the
How
question?
long ago?
Yeah.
How long ago?
We filmed in.
We filmed. There was 2 days.
Yeah, it was 2 days. You said, yeah.
We filmed in. Oh my gosh, I know April.
I'm trying to remember.
March.
I think it was
April?
wasn't it March and like no, it was March and like.
Yeah.
It was already
Yeah,
done when we first met you guys. I remember that. You guys were.
Yeah,
talking
I think it was March and wasn't it May? Wasn't it some point in May?
Yeah, is that long ago?
Yes, because
Or
it was
was
a
it-
month.
Okay, so then it was April and May.
We
It
need
was
more
going
time
on
to do the gory filming, so it was a month later. I remember because I couldn't cut or color my hair, and then I think I did,
Yeah.
and I showed up with these horrible bangs, and I'm like,
Oh, that's beautiful.
oops.
No, it's great.
But
Yeah,
what I was gonna say is Ashley and I we had like hung out a couple times through like once or twice through a mutual friend. I think like once we had a coffee meeting and I really liked her a lot, and then I ran into her at a grocery store like I think a couple weeks beforehand, and I saw she was doing this project. I'm like, man, I wish she thought of me. That would have been fun. But figuring that you had been working on it for quite some time, and then getting that call was really exciting because I'm like, this looks like such a fun project. And we were like very kindred spirits when I met her. We both love horror. I think she's a wonderful person, and we just had so much fun working on this together. And like since then,
Oh yeah,
That's
same.
awesome.
Ditto.
Well, when everybody does get to see it, you guys have that chemistry where, well, part of it is the casting director, which is Lindsey, and Ashley, who's auditioning, go back. Like you guys know who each other are. So the way you guys are playing it, you can definitely tell. Like you guys seem like you knew each other.
Oh yeah.
Because you're like, oh yeah, oh hi, how
He's
you
gonna
doing?
cast me, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah, the tone you
Exactly.
set there was like you guys knew each other. You guys did very good with that.
Oh, thank you.
It's hard to like who you work with nowadays. It's kind of hard. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard for it
Really
to
hard these
kind of
days.
spill out. It's
Well, it's like we've been doing this podcast now for a while. We like each other, I guess.
I mean, y'all are all right. Y'all are all right. Y'all are okay. You know, if we
I didn't even know each other that well. It was just, but like what the moment I met her, I immediately knew that I liked her right away. And I think it was just all meant to be.
Yes, same.
Yeah, you could tell
There's
when you
like
meet somebody. Yeah.
Change where I was like, she's gonna be my friend. I know it.
Yes.
You get the vibe.
Oh yeah.
You can tell. You can tell. You can tell.
And we did talk a little bit with Lito and Jennifer earlier about like what they were doing. And one of the things I did write down that I had to ask because I remember I was telling my wife about this and she watched it too and she enjoyed it. And what's it like? So basically being in a film with your wife, we have to be that aggressive because remember how you were talking about like when you were grabbing her arm, because without being too spoilery about what the scene was. What's it like being in that situation? Is it like, where he's getting aggressive, but then later on you kick his ass because he was getting aggressive with you?
Right. We talked about thoroughly beforehand, before I even accepted the part that, Ashley offered me, because we knew, there was going to be physicality between the two of us. But we basically came up with a safe word in case either of us needed to stop. And we just rehearsed it over and over and over again until we got to the point that we were both extremely comfortable and felt safe with each other and etc. I mean, I trust him. He trusts me. So in terms of like, physicality, it may have looked like I was like getting hurt, but
I mean, I think
safe.
She knows the history of what I've done. She knows that I have experience in stage combat. She knows I have experience in film combat. She knows that I did pretty much all of my stunts and all through the house, including jumping from roofs and windows and running with shears pointed up or down. And I never once stuck the shears through my neck by accident by tripping and falling on them. So I think she trusts, and she's seen me play basketball and do athletic things. So she knows that I have a good command of my body, thankfully, at least still to this point in time. God willing, it'll go on for many years to come. So we just blocked it out. I came up with a way when her scenes got emotional to trigger her emotions, because there was something I can't share what it was, but there was something that I told her during one of our rehearsals in the apartment. I said it out loud and I just kept describing the vision of it and what it was. And she just within 10 seconds was crying. And she's like, don't say it again. Save it until we get to the set. And so before she filmed some of her emotional stuff, she and I went to a place that was very quiet and we were alone. And, I just kind of told her, I don't mean any of this. This is just acting. I would take a bullet for you. But I need to get you where you're going. And then later I have to throw you around a little. So here we go. And so I said maybe 4 words of what the picture was. And she said, stop. And she started crying. And I just kept leaning in and I kept pushing her like, you need to see it. You need to see it. You need to keep seeing it. You need to get there. You need to get there. See it more. It's awful. See it more. And she just started bawling and I popped out and I was like, all right, let's go, Ashley. So that's unfortunately sometimes what you have to do
to bring it out.
Yeah.
But everyone was very supportive. And of course, afterwards, after we filmed the stuff that we went through, we just held each other and looked at each other and had a quiet moment, and everyone was very respectful of that. So, that's basically what we did. And I cleared it with Ashley beforehand. I said, here's what our process is going to be if this is okay with you. And she's like, that's great, whatever you need. And she gave us the space we needed to do those things. So hats off to her.
Oh, well, thank you. Hats off to you too. I mean, I was more than willing to let you handle that. I just knew you would have that under control. So
yeah, that to me. Yeah, that to me is the most beautiful thing about being in a lovely relationship, is that you trust one another and you allow each other to try new things that you've never experienced before. And that's a beautiful thing to hear, man. I love that.
Yeah, it was really, really great witnessing what you two were doing together. And I know I mentioned this before to you guys personally and in other podcasts, but I didn't know Jennifer at all. I hadn't met her previously, but the whole time, because I was just learning my lines in between. But standing next to her, you know, getting ready for the takes, I thought I was working with a professional. Like I thought this was somebody that had been doing this a long time, and her delivery was really, really wonderful.
Yep. Jennifer brought her A game for
Thanks.
sure.
Thank you. I tried.
Well, here's one from Bill, one of our friends. So since they haven't seen it, do somebody want to jump out and sort of give a synopsis of what the movie's about? Because
Ashley?
I guess I can without spoiling it. Basically, there's these two like D-list scream queen actors that are that show up to the same audition, and they both think that they have the part, and so they're kind of like, "What are you doing here?" So they're kind of like just duking it out and battling it out during an audition scene. And things take a strong turn when the on-screen, or the, what's it called? A screen test, Lito, William, kind of does a little bit of a, maybe method acting. You might think it's method acting. I don't know. You could be the judge of it. And things just kind of like go south quickly.
Downhill.
Yeah.
But it's basically
big
like,
time.
it's basically kind of when you're an actor and you're going in for an audition, and sometimes you show up to an audition where you're just like, oh God, like this part's going to go to her. I just know it, you know? And it's kind of like that real life, you know, feeling that you have to go through. And that's kind of like what I wrote Tilly. Tilly is that character. I wrote Tilly originally for myself because I've experienced this. And, but a part of me was like, no, I'm gonna play Rose. I'm gonna do something different. But yeah, so that's basically it.
And I think, Ashley, it's what I thought was really smart about it is that it addresses those horrors, which are horrors for most actors. I mean, I'm old enough at this point, and I will admit I'm almost 50. But
Hey, what's wrong with 50?
I've done this. You know what I mean? But I've done this so many times that when I audition now, like, I'm just like, if I don't get it, it's their loss. Like, I'm sorry, but like, I was born to play the Joker, or I was born to play Freddy Krueger, or any of the roles that I've been lucky enough to do for some of the big companies. But like Michael Myers, which, you know, a lot of actors would be like, I don't want to do that. But I'm like, oh, if you don't use me, you're fucking shit up. But I like that you addressed the horror of what goes on inside when you know that's going to happen. But also, you have to admit that there have probably been some auditions. I don't know about Lindsey. I've had this happen where you go to an audition location, and when you get there, you're like, this is kind of a scary place to be auditioning. It feels like it's out in the middle of nowhere. And if I walk into this place and it's like Buffalo Bill and Hannibal Lecter with a camera and like
one table of papers.
No one's ever going to know what happened to me. Like that is a very real worry for a lot of actors when they're auditioning or when they get to a set. Like sometimes you get to a set and it's like in the middle of Death Valley and you're like, there's like 5 people on this crew. 2 of them look really angry, and like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it out.
My
of the
safety
shoot,
is okay here.
Lots of ads like that.
Isn't this how horror movies start? What am I doing here?
Well, especially too in like the indie world, you know, there's different layers of independent filmmaking, and there are situations where that has happened.
I've done
sure.
auditions where it was like a group audition with a bunch of people acting out the scenes, and then they decided who they were going to cast for the part. I think there were like 2 people that we didn't see on the film.
Interesting.
So yeah, it's I've been to some different audition scenarios for independent film.
Sounds like it.
I give you guys
very
credit.
different.
I could not do that. I would be so nervous. I mean, I play guitar. I play in a band. I've played out for 30 years, and playing guitar in a band is easy. But if I had to sit there and audition, I mean, we've auditioned for people where it's just cover bands and some other stuff, but I've never had a problem with. But like sitting there when you're the spotlight and there's a bunch of people sitting there staring at you, that I don't know how you guys do it. I couldn't do it.
So there's this one audition that I went to. It's for 911. It was a 911 promo. It was like for the first promo that they had for the television show. And I remember there was like a group of people, and they brought us all in to this like outside, and there's this car, and they're like, okay, one at a time, I want you to get in this car, and you're gonna scream for your life as if you're, drowning. And I was like, instantly was like, oh my god, I got this. Like nobody else here has this. I got this. So I went in there, and I did my thing, and then they brought 3 of us in and changed us all into the same outfit, and I was like, we're all in the same outfit. Like we're not all going to be in the same car together. I don't know what their deal is. But then they had the car and it was full of water, and they're like, okay, who wants to go first? I'm like, I don't know why, but me, I want to go first. And I got in there and I jumped in and I did my thing. They took pictures, like the crew was taking video. It was like it was so fun. And then I got out and those other 2 people were gone. So they sent them home. So it was like such a good thing that I like raised my hand. I said, yes, like I'm first. I'm getting into that cold ass water, and got the part.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Well, with the exception of this project, you guys want to talk about anything else you're working on now? Is there anything you guys are working on that you can say something about for the future? Anybody?
I've got a music project going on, but nothing film related.
What's the music project? I saw on your Instagram you play guitar.
Yeah, you play guitar?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I play guitar for a band called the Lost Tapes.
Nice.
And they're a post-punk, kind of new wave-ish influence, but mostly post-punk sound.
Nice.
Yeah, she's badass on stage.
Is that your type of music, or what is it that you prefer?
Oh, absolutely. The first band I played in was called Apocalypse Theater, and they were an industrial metal band. Nice. I've done some solo stuff. Nothing that I've recorded or anything like that, because it was a very, very long time ago and a different city and everything like that. But I did my solo gigs. And then there was a point where it's kind of, I have very terrible ADHD. So I never thought I would ever take a hiatus from music. But that's when acting and writing and film started coming up for me, which was really great. And I took a long time to just focus on that. And then suddenly the music came back around again. So it's really exciting. And my goal is to balance both of them.
Nice. Did you get into music at a younger age, or was it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Cool. It sounds to me like you need an artistic outlet. Like you need, I like that.
I've been a music nerd since I was a little kid.
Awesome. What were your influences?
Lindsey, then?
Because I'm a big music guy. I'm just curious. What were your influences as far growing up?
My influences, God, it's hard to, because it's such a vast level of inspiration for what I've had. So I grew up to a lot of 60s rock and roll. That's what my parents were listening to. And then, of course, there was this stuff that was coming out at the time in the early 90s, like the grunge era had hit.
Grunge, yeah.
So Nirvana was a big one. And then I started seeing that women were doing this. And I was watching whole music videos, Babes in Toyland, PJ Harvey, all that stuff just gave me that drive because I saw it and I'm like, saw myself in that position.
And who else? No Doubt's in that era, I think, too, right? Yeah, No Doubt was in that era, too, I think.
They were late 90s.
Late, yeah.
And I like No Doubt. I wouldn't, I enjoy the band. I wouldn't credit them as a big influence of mine at that time. But when I was in high school, then I started exploring more like rockabilly, jazz, old school metal, even the stuff my parents were listening to. And but what always stuck with me was the goth new wave bands from the 80s.
Awesome. Love it.
Yeah, I'm a big music junkie. I actually have Bill in the chat. Bill's in a band. Well, his thing says the Everscathe. So he's in a band in Chicago called the Everscathe.
Right.
It's pretty heavy, though. So I don't know how heavy you guys get.
Ashley?
Oh, as far as what's next,
What's cooking?
What's cooking?
I mean, I'm not exactly sure how much I'm supposed to say. I mean, it also involves Lito as well, but my brother, who is
He's like, it does.
writer and director of All Through the House,
Yeah.
he's got his something very special brewing, and we're in the pre-production of it right now, and soon we'll be able to share more about it. Like actually, very soon. So I don't think I can say anything right now.
Yeah, we're excited.
We're very excited. Yeah.
Awesome. That's great.
Yes. So I'm always have music things going here and there for either friends or another director I've worked with a few times named Dakota Thomas. He has a feature film that I've scored, and he has another one coming up that he's going to be doing. I'm not sure when exactly. The world of independent cinema, sometimes, dates get pushed, and in Hollywood too, obviously with the strike. So whenever that's finished, he's going to send that to me to score. And then Jennifer and I actually talked to her about this morning that I came up with a concept that I've been tossing about in my head for a few weeks, actually probably a few months. And I ran it by her today and I was like, would you be interested? Because it'd be a very different role for you, but like, I know you could do it. And I think the concept is really cool because I've never seen anything like it. And it draws on different levels of horror, but it also kind of flips things on their head for one kind of iconoclastic character archetype, let's just say, because everybody views this character archetype a certain way and it's different from its intent and purpose. And I want to kind of flip it back around and turn it into something even more different that I think people are going to be like, I didn't see that shit coming. So, because honestly, I was like, as a writer, you're often looking for like, I want to do something that's going to not ever have been done before. And usually it's, in my brain, it's amalgamations of different things. Like it's a little bit of Freddy or a little bit of this or a little bit of that, because it's really hard to come up with a completely unique concept these days. Mm-hmm. Like when you see something that's very unique, like It Follows, for instance, you're just kind of like, whoa, this is different. I didn't expect this. And it's, I'm not sure how I feel, but let's keep watching it. And then by the end, I was like, that movie was insanely creepy and good and terrifying. And like, I want to see more of that, which we're going to, because apparently they're going to do a sequel.
Yeah,
innovative. Yeah.
Yeah. But even that film, when you watch it, it draws so much from Halloween. Like there's shots in that film that are like, John Carpenter could have filmed this. So it's like, you're always going to do something that's maybe unique, but it's got elements of other things, because how can you not be influenced by other art? So I don't know.
That's how you get into this stuff, right?
Always. We talk about influence all the time because we do rankings and from the 70s, 80s, 90s, 60s, all the way up until today. And it's like everything is influenced from the past. Everything that you take from is something that you've either seen, saw, and you kind of take it and make it your own. It's always
passionate about it.
It's always for us, we always we critique movies and everything that we talk about on the show. It's like our decision making is decided based on the things that we've seen in the past. So whether you're an actor, you're a critiquer, or you're a movie lover, whatever it is, your judgment and your performance or whatever is based on the things that you've learned and taken from the past. It kind of helps create who you are, because you take it and you create it and you make it your own. So it's it takes something
and do that and make it totally different. Like we do a segment on here every week because we're big movie guys, obviously, where we talk about what we watched that week, and it gives us give each other ideas of things we watched that we enjoyed, and people chime in and let us know what they watched. And one movie that stands out that there was a big buzz on, I don't know if you guys have watched it or heard of it yet, When Evil Lurks.
Oh yeah,
it's on Shudder. Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Go. I mean, when you want to see something that when something comes along that's that different, sort of like It Follows, go watch When Evil Lurks, because it was a big buzz about it. I'm like, what is the big buzz about this movie? So I put on. It's on Shudder. It's Spanish. It's from Argentina, and so it's got subtitles. But the storyline and the premise of this movie and how creepy and you feel that dread, go watch When Evil Lurks, because this is a movie that just really came out of nowhere and it gave you something different for once, because it was just a completely different concept. So that I just had to throw that out there, because usually we do our little what everybody watch, and we kind of watch a lot of the same stuff, so we go back and forth. But that's one that's out there. It's on Shudder, I think. Yeah, it's on Shudder. I saw it.
It's on Shudder, yeah.
So if you guys like horror movies, and it's just very creepy and very dreadful.
I got a question. I'm just very curious as to individuals who are in the in the business of making film and all that good stuff. Do you look at movies, and do you like do you like to critique them? You say, I would do things this way or whatever. Are you highly critical of the films that you watch? Are you very particular in the films that you watch? I'm just curious, since you're in the business of making them, I don't make films. I just sit back and watch them. So I have an open mind. Is there certain things that y'all look for, or what is it that inspires y'all to watch films? Not just make them, but watch them. I'm just curious.
For me, I guess, I like it most when I don't have that kind of judgy, ness.
Sure.
If you can get me interested and totally invested in the film,
Sure.
then I prefer it. The moment that something comes out, that strikes me as, oh my gosh, I would have done it this way, or that, that's when I get taken out of it.
Got it.
So that's when I start to do that, and that happens kind of a lot in independent films, but it also happens in big budget ones as well. Not all directors have the total creative control and be able to do it exactly how they see it, but it happens.
Sure. No, I understand.
I'll say, because I've been a writer-producer of my own short films, and when I was younger, I was hypercritical. I was like comic book store guy from The Simpsons.
Yeah.
But also riding high on ego and just kind of not really looking at my own fear of that perfectionism. And once I've let a lot of that go, just as I've gotten older, I find what I look for when I'm watching movies, first of all, if something's bad and I'm losing interest, then all right, I don't see what the hype was about it or whatever. But what I do look for is seeing that whoever is making the film, you can see their passion behind it. And I really, honestly, I think at this point in life, when I see people being brave enough to put their stuff out there and just be brave to make mistakes or learn, because a lot of people's work that's great was considered bad at one time or just getting started. A lot of people, I've had negative opinions about other works and then looked at it again. I'm like, you know what? That's not so bad. It was actually pretty good. I like what they did here. So I want to celebrate people putting their stuff out there and creating, because that's really, and I think it's more important than ever right now.
Yeah, because you're definitely putting yourself out there, and that's scary.
And I know that if I see, the uniqueness or people taking risk, again, because so much stuff has been done, really seeing the influence in there. I love seeing that. I love seeing directors take from older films. And I worked on a film called Virgin Cheerleaders in Chains, and Paulo Biscaya Filho was the director of that. And I remember it was before my kill scene. Going up the stairs, the killer, he wanted to do this Nosferatu shadow coming up there. And seeing him come up with that on a whim was just, that's brilliant. I love that.
Yeah. No, I totally respect that. Go ahead, Lito. I'm sorry.
No, it's cool. Go ahead.
No, I mean, as a film watcher, I'm not sure if I speak for everybody. It's like we don't hold ourselves too critical of the films that we watch nowadays, because everybody's always trying to up the ante and always trying to, shock everybody and try to be different and be outside the. I just like when things are different and people are creative and they try. And I understand what you're saying. It's just people are just trying to just be artistic. We appreciate that as watchers of this kind of stuff. It's like if you can see if people are trying, and you can see definitely when people are not. And I'm not going to say movies by name. I'm not
Yeah,
going to do that.
Very
Yeah,
easy
we're not going
to
there.
recognize that. Maybe somebody
Yeah.
got lucky and they got money thrown at them. And they
Exactly.
you can see
Fine.
that. But
Yeah.
what I
Yeah.
love about this genre, I'm at the point where I'm like, you can make me laugh. That made my day. I'm happy. I love horror comedy. That's become a big go-to for me now. And I think because so much stuff has been done, I think, and bad stuff that we're celebrating. I love celebrating camp horror. That it's so bad it's good, or is it just good?
Oh,
It's just a fun time to watch.
I fall asleep to a lot of this stuff, and it's just I don't know. It's just one of those comfort things.
yeah. And just
ask
to
my wife
mention-
how often I sleep in our bed because it's nothing bad. There's nothing wrong. Plus, the 2 dogs take up half the bed, so I'd rather sleep elsewhere. But down here, I have like a theater room where every night I put on a different movie where I'm trying to watch, it's usually horror or something. Or I've been on this kick where I'm trying to watch as many bad horror movies on Tubi as I can possibly find and stand. So usually I throw them on and I just put them on, and I've got a couple of doozies I could talk about. But I'm very easy to please. If it's interesting, even if it's that bad, sometimes it's so, like you said, it's so bad it's good. It's like I'll tell these guys, I'm like, I watched this movie last night that was so damn bad, you gotta watch it because it kept my interest through the whole movie.
Oh, not
And
Skinamarink, Pat, right?
Anything but Skinamarink.
Yeah, but no, honestly,
On
it's
that
a good point. It's a great point because
ahead.
the focus of tonight is we were going to do a review of Slumber Party Massacre. So I'm not sure if you're a fan of that film, but we all are. I know the 3 guys are. So
I
how do
like
you feel?
the second one.
The metal
guitar
one,
guy?
the guy with the
Oh,
guitar.
With the guitar. You like
I
the
love leg dance. I'm a big fan of that leg dance. Whatever the fuck he was doing.
he thought he was Andrew Dice Clay.
That movie is so bad, it's good. That's what I'm saying.
That's a movie that's so bad it's good.
That's what we're talking about, you know.
What's that other one, Pat?
Well-
Trick or Treat. Lindsay, do you like Trick or Treat from the 80s? Did you ever see that film?
You see Trick
a
or
big
Treat?
fan of-
Not Trick or Treat. Trick or Treat.
Trick or Treat.
You know
Not
what's
yet.
weird, and I hate this. Everything I watched up until the age of, I don't know, my mid-20s, I can remember. Anything I've watched after that, I don't remember. I'm sure I've seen it. It's a blur to me.
Music and horror. That's what it is, right, Pat? That's the easiest way to say it.
What's that?
It's horror and music, rock music.
together.
Yeah.
It is. Okay. I'll maybe I haven't seen it. I'll have to give that a shot. I know
What about
it's some of the
Simmons?
TV watch list. I know that.
Gene Simmons and Ozzy have like a cameo.
Gene
in
Simmons
each.
and Ozzy have
Yeah.
cameos in it.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen it, but
I also
You've never
fall
seen it?
asleep to a lot of horror repeat movies, so maybe it's when I started.
I love the B movies. I tell you, see,
There's some
like
good
you guys talked about putting yourself out there. So my story is, I became good friends with these guys, like 2 of my best friends now through this, because for years I would just watch horror movies. These are all CDs back here. Like Lindsey, I've been a guitar player I'm 51 for 40 years. So I'm a big music guy. I'm a big horror guy. I'm that guy. So for years, my wife is saying, she would call me the bowl of useless knowledge. And she still does, as a matter of fact. Because I would just talk movies like this, and then when I met Joe and Brett and we started this, I was like, you guys, you're like me. You're just like me.
Long lost brothers.
We're like long lost brothers because you. So when you were talking about like putting yourself out there, this is like the thing. I told my wife I was going to do this, and we were going to start doing like a little podcast where we talk about horror and music and whatnot. And she's like, as long as I don't have to listen to it anymore, that's fine. Just go do it. Because we just talk about
Now
stuff
you have your
like
own
that.
avenue for it.
But to her credit, she did come to the Halloween convention. She didn't go inside the convention though, but she came to the convention and hung out.
But she
Met-
came.
Yeah, she did
But-
come, but yeah. So she puts up with
By
my
the way,
mania when it comes to music and horror.
Before we forget,
We recently saw the movie Thanksgiving,
Oh.
which is a bad movie to be a bad movie. I did laugh a lot, but it was awful.
yeah, if you're looking for a bad one, yeah.
I remember Thanksgiving, and I've seen it. I've not seen it, admittedly, but I've heard of it. Yeah, just with a name like Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had
pretty
high
much.
that one.
There's like a few of them. There's Thanksgiving 2 and 3. God. Oh wow.
Well, I think not to get too graphic, because there's women present, but one night, a buddy of mine who has since passed on, we used to watch horror movies all the time. We just hang out at his house and watch horror movies. And we found this one horror movie, and I got to look up the name of it. I can't remember it. I found it for a friend, and it's so bad. It's basically about this guy who has a killer penis that detaches and kills people. Now,
Sure.
okay, just picture this, and you'd think you would never. It's sort of like through the whole movie, it kills people, but you don't kind of see it until the very end when we were sitting there, and all of a sudden it was a claymation thing. So that might be one of the worst ones I've seen.
Gives you like the Gary Busey gingerbread man look, right?
Yeah, it was.
That one I had to turn off. It was too much. Whatever was happening in the beginning.
Sounds like it.
No,
There's
there's
a couple of those.
there's some really bad ones, but sometimes they're so bad they're good. They are. So yeah,
Yeah, and I was just gonna. I also real quick point out. Joe asked that question earlier about films. I think it's in general. This speaks to fandom, and I didn't want to forget to say this because you guys know all about fandom, and the audience will probably be will be able to relate to this very easily. I think the critical eye, the kind of like when you're watching a film and going, well, here's what I would have done. I think by and large that happens when you're, at least for me, when I'm watching something that I'm very passionate about, like especially franchise films. Like I don't get upset, but I will often scratch my head and be like, Jesus Christ, did they miss a golden opportunity with the end of this film? Like it's like the new Scream. Like both of the new Screams, I feel like are 2 drafts away from being complete screenplays. And again, I'm not trying to like, well, I could have, but like having done the documentary about Scream and having been so passionate about this franchise from the beginning, from opening weekend, like every time I tell someone what I would have done at the end of Scream 5, they're like, holy shit, dude, that would have brought it full circle. And that would have been like, that would have totally explained the motivations in a way that was a little more acceptable and more thematically in line with the rest of the series. And I'm like, I know that sometimes that's a bad thing because sometimes fans can like, oh, I hated The Last Jedi because Luke and Luke. And it's like, well, yeah, but it's different. They're trying to do something different. They've done, how many other Star Wars that are this, formulaic. I understand why you object to it, but like they didn't want to just tell the same story. And I know we all have these franchises where we're like, oh, here's what I would have done. But I try to let that go as I get older, because if I don't, and if you don't as an audience member, you're just in for misery. Like you have to just kind of like let that go.
You can't just disqualify the whole movie, Lito. I think like you're saying, if like you said, oh, if they did this just a little bit, you're not hating on the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my thing is, especially it's good in this day and age of social media. So like we're sitting here talking about this, and we're all excited that everybody's going to see this on this, on the 17th when it finally comes out. And it's also bad because you look at certain films like Exorcist Believer, which was doomed to failure before it even started because because in this day and age of social media, what happens? People just jump on things and just start beating up on it. And it's like, well, why can't it's bad? No. Well, did you see it yet? Well, no. Why would you touch that? Well, why don't you just wait and see what happens? Let's see where it goes from there. Let people express themselves. So instead of letting this franchise lay dormant, now you have an opportunity to see something where it goes a little bit further. So why don't you just wait and see how it is before you walk in there with your arms crossed and hate it before you even watch it?
And not everything is made for everybody too. So
it's not.
And you got to take that into account. A lot of people.
We all watched it and we all thought like, this isn't that bad. Is it as good as the first one? Of course not. That's like saying 2018 was going to be better than the original Halloween. Of course it wasn't. But we were excited to see it. We didn't crap all over it before we went there. It's like, hey, guys, it's fueled nowadays because everybody online is a critic now.
Yeah. Social media's got some great things to it, but there's a lot of bad things.
There's a big downside to it where everybody thinks they're a critic. I mean, it's like, come on. But yeah, totally. Where people just jump. It's like, let people be creative and let's see what they do with it. Watch it first. Because, well, I haven't seen it yet, but I don't want to go see it. Why? Go see it.
Those are other
be a-
type of guys sitting in their basements on their podcast, Pat. Not us.
Yeah, well, I'm in a basement. I'm in a dungeon. But you know what? I've had arguments with people that because they know I'm big and I watch movies and I do this, and I tell them, I go, well, I'm just going to explain to you what I explained to my kids when they were younger. They would want to eat something. I go, okay, so you're looking at this like, okay, eat Brussels sprouts. I hate them. Well, you never tried them. So if you try them, they could be your favorite thing, and you could spend your whole life not eating them, and you'll miss out. So give it a shot. And then if you tell me afterwards you don't like it, that's cool. Because I've done that with other things where they've tried it. I said, just try it first. Go. It's the same thing with a film, because I had somebody tell me, I'm not going to go see the Exorcist movie. I go, why? Just go watch it. Give it a shot.
You can't dip a movie in applesauce, though, Pat. You know what I mean?
You know, it's just give everybody's trying to be creative and try something different because they want to stand out.
Yeah.
So give them a shot. You know, maybe it's something you'll like instead of just peeing all over it before you even get a chance to see it. So yeah, nowadays it's just hard, especially you guys as being creative and doing films. Oh, it's got to be harder than hell nowadays.
Somehow you just got to shut it off the best you can.
It used to be critics for like major magazines and television, but now it's everybody that's got a YouTube channel.
Honestly, I think people that are so hard up on everybody's a critic now is because I think people associate it with being intelligent. That having a negative opinion makes you smarter than everybody.
Yeah.
I want to see you make a movie.
Yep.
Because if I'm reading,
Exactly.
even when I read music reviews, I'm like, okay, I got a bunch of flowery sentences and I can't even tell the critic is praising. Oh, and then after a bunch of insults, they're like, yeah, it was a pretty good album. Okay. Okay. I guess you're a writer. Strung a bunch of sentences together.
It takes a lot more to put yourself out there and to create something and then have people judge it. It takes a lot more than just judging something. I can't stand that shit.
Yeah, I want to see people, those types of people, make a movie. See how that goes.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah,
usually those are the ones that critic the most, are the ones that have never done it.
Been done.
that have never done it, or just I'm all about at this point in life just giving people love, giving people encouragement, and it is brutal out there. And even criticizing when people are hard up on criticizing actors, I think it's really important because it is such a serious craft that requires a lot of focus. It's not easy. But take it easy on the people who are getting out there, because those people who are trying are going to get better. They will get better. You can't, and sometimes if you're out of your head for just a second, it throws you out of the whole game. Even professionals make those mistakes.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
And I think it treads. I think it's by and large when we see it in fandom. I think a large part of it is because there's a certain entitlement that goes hand in hand with nowadays fandoms. Generally speaking, a large portion of fandoms have a certain amount of entitlement where they feel like, I've followed this from the beginning. I've been passionate since the beginning. Like I said earlier about Scream, they owe me this. Well, I know they didn't owe me anything, but here's what I would have suggested. But there's people that take it to the point where they literally, like you said, Pat, they start this like word of mouth, social media fueled hate fest. And it's like they talk to each other and they just start dragging things down.
It gets contagious.
It's
like a virus. It's a virus.
The best example that pissed me off so much was the new Indiana Jones film, because like they brought that film down before it even came out because they're like,
Ridiculous.
It's got a chick in it and chicks suck and I hate chicks and none of the other movies had none of the other movies had strong chicks. This movie just sucks. And it was just like, you haven't even fucking seen it. Like, why don't you stop crapping all over it because the female has an agenda and stop spreading your hate? But there's a lot of movies that suffer that, like The Exorcist, like some horror sequels. And it's just like you said, Lindsey, you guys get out there and put out one idea that would be better than what they did. And then when you hear their ideas, you're like, no, that was fucking terrible. You go home, you shut up, turn off your internet, and don't ever come back.
I mean,
Go into a hole and go away.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre 4 was one of the better ones, but half of them disagree.
Exactly.
It's our Halloween 5, right, Pat?
Yeah, exactly. And then there's other times where there's times where you don't see that, which is odd because I remember when they announced 2018 and it was going to be a direct sequel to Halloween, and I don't recall anybody hating on it.
No, because at that point they were just excited to get something at that time.
And that's my point. Be excited you got
that
something.
Maury and Michael weren't going to be siblings anymore. We're like,
yes,
okay, we're getting them back on screen though.
That's all that matters.
Remember
That's all
you
that
had to
matters.
bring an Exorcist movie back, and they're like, "Oh, we're going to go back to the Exorcist, and we're going to do a direct sequel to the original," which is great because the Heretic sucked ass.
Yeah, it was
Part
pretty
3 was good, but the Heretic was garbage. So it's like instead of being excited like us Halloween fans were, they just shit all over it.
And
This
it
is
wasn't
like-
that
and
bad.
the same thing with Indiana Jones,
Not
like
bad.
this, where they shit all over. It's like, aren't you glad Harrison Ford he's in his 80s now, right?
Mhm.
Be glad
It's
you're
a-
getting this.
It's a fitting way to end, in my
Enjoy it.
opinion. My
Enjoy
opinion,
it.
it was a fitting way to end that Indiana Jones. so.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean,
Just
hey,
my opinion. If people
It's
are
a
going to
good
expect
opinion.
if people expect him to be the same, he's 80 years old. It's like, what do you expect? They're being realistic with that.
Well, and Brett, that's the other problem though, is they'll tell you what they want, but if you give them that, they would have shit all over that too. Oh yeah, like I'm supposed to believe like an 80-year-old guy can win a fist fight with a guy that's 50. Well, what do you fucking want?
What do you
Because
want?
you're not happy with anything.
Can't please the critiques. You just can't.
It's like those people at Halloween. Remember Halloween Kills, Pat, when they show Annie dead. Like, well, that happened to Halloween too. That doesn't exist. I'm like, Annie still died in the first Halloween, and you're
Doesn't
bitching
make a
about
difference.
that.
It could have been a scene from the
died.
first.
They're still gonna find her. She's still gonna get carried off in a stretcher.
Yeah. So it's just
I
crazy.
don't know.
So-
Anyways, now our tangents.
We've either endured ourselves to the people we're pitching our film to, or they all hate us.
Oh, Bill's heading out because Bill gets up he gets at like 3:00 in the morning.
Bill's gonna be the guy like that. Should have been 3 minutes longer. No, just kidding.
I mean, in my opinion,
Just
the
kidding,
true lovers of film love good movies and they love bad movies.
Yeah.
They don't take the time to shit on things because, it's not worth it. To me, if you love film, you watch film. You have your good ones, you have your bad ones, and you move it along. There's always going to be new films coming out. That's the beautiful thing about all this. Is like, it's not going to stop. Creativity is not going to stop. Yeah, we got a strike going on right now, but that will soon resolve, and then things will resume, and then we're going to get back to the way things were. And, if you love film, enjoy the good ones and enjoy the bad ones. That's what happens. That's the way it is,
As moviegoers, I think as you see more over the years, I think your opinions change. You come to the realizations, hey, I might not have liked the sequel. You can just pretend the sequel didn't happen. Don't go watch the sequel. Just pretend. Pretend there was no other Halloween. A lot of people did like Freddy's Revenge, right? I didn't like that when I was a kid when I got into it. Now I've grown to like it in a weird way.
Yeah,
I'm sure. Took me to Terrifier 2, and I hadn't seen the first one. I was like, "Whoa, oh my god, it was really good." And I went to see the first one. The first one wasn't very good at all, and just like reading the reviews, like, no, I thought that measured up. But what I love is that whoever created that film took that sequel to the next level and put this amazing story behind it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, big fan.
Yeah, it's bringing a new generation of fans. I think that whole Art the Clown.
I'm sure you might relate, Miss Lindsay. Like, you understand, like, I look at movies the same way I look at music. Like, I'm very particular when it comes to my music, and I love certain albums. I love them to death. And there's certain albums I don't care for too much, but I still listen to them. I don't revere them as much, but I'm not closed-minded to where this is all I'm going to listen to forever. And I don't criticize the band because they're trying to be artistically different moving forward. Like, that's how I look at movies. You might like one film a director did, and the rest you hate, but you love the film so much that you love film in general, that you're just willing to take whatever it is that person is creating in.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I look at it. It's creativity.
Well, and with music too, because that's such a dear thing to my heart. And I do look for what's good and what's bad and stuff that is absolutely appalling. But that really is the popularity with like a lot of pop music that comes out where I'm like, I don't get I don't get it. I
Yeah.
used to just put a lot of hate into it, but then I realized there's a lot of my own stuff behind that. But I guess if it's making people happy, then it's making people happy.
Exactly.
It shouldn't stop anybody else from making really great, authentic music.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people. I'm kind of a rare breed where I love, the depths of punk rock, the depths of all that gnarly, ferocious music that I love very dearly. But I'm also that person where I have a bit of a pop sensibility, where all those punk rockers who came out with probably their least popular solo albums, I appreciated, and nobody else did. But
Exactly.
Mhm.
Everybody is going to find something that they like. It may not be everybody else's cup of tea, but you like it. And that's the beautiful thing about film and music in general.
Pat, is that how you felt when Kiss did Unplugged?
Yeah, exactly.
Or when
That's
they
a
took
good
off
point.
the makeup, or Metallica cut their hair? All
That's a
these
good
type
point.
of things people got bent out of shape
That's a
about.
very good
I
point.
actually got mad when Metallica cut their hair, but then I realized, oh, okay, I'm one of those generations that fell behind. Everybody cut their hair at some point.
Hey, Kiss took off the makeup, and eventually they did the Unplugged, and the Unplugged led to what?
Hey,
The original band got back together. So
they made the song "God Gave Rock and Roll to You" to build Ted's Bogus Journey. So I give that.
which is actually a cover.
It is a cover. Sorry.
They tweaked it a little bit, yeah. But I'm the same way. It's just I'm one of those people that like the most. I can talk to like the most hardened fans of certain things, just the way you can talk to people who like certain films. I can listen to Kiss. I can put on jazz. I can go listen to Chick Corea. I can go listen to Jaco Pastorius. I can go listen to punk because I grew up a punk rock. I listen to the Dead Kennedys. I just saw The Damned last weekend. I listen to the most diverse stuff, and people are like, how do you listen to that if you're a Kiss fan?
Yeah.
I go. Who says I got to be? Just do I have to put myself in a bubble? I'm a
You
guitar
don't.
player. I love to
Just
listen to
because
different
you're
things.
a Kiss fan, yeah.
We
Yeah,
got the
they-
lovely Miss Ashley back.
They put you in a bubble, and
I had a
because
phone call
you're trying to
that
like
was coming
things
through.
outside your spectrum. And I'm like, no, that's the thing I'm saying. Try different things, listen to different things, watch different things, because you're just setting yourself up. Oh, there's nothing to watch. Well, if you try
That's what
different
guilty
things,
pleasures are
maybe you
for.
can find something.
That's right.
Yeah.
And your video quality, Miss Ashley, is way better than it was before. I don't know what you did, but you're coming in way clearer. Yeah, you look fantastic.
I thought I heard a hammer. She was like,
Yeah. Am I right?
Well,
Wait.
It
Am I right, everybody? She's like so much clearer now.
it seems
Am I
brighter.
right?
Is it
Yeah.
the lights, Joe? Are you thinking the lights too?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm
My
brighter.
husband.
I shouldn't
A
have
phone
said
call
that
came through
because
and, like,
it just
it threw me
I just
off.
blurted it out. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna be quiet over here.
At least you
You're
guys get a
fine.
clear
Stop
view.
it.
So quick. While we have everybody here, hold on one second. Let me just turn this off for
Oh,
a
yeah.
moment.
I
So
almost
we do
forgot.
have some teasers that I did upload here. So we'll just do one at a time here. So we can do this here, where, like I said, Jen smelled something in the room, which we talked about that earlier. We'll do that one.
That was so awesome.
Get away
And I
from
will
me.
say this: when you do first watch that, and you see the look on Jen's face because it's perfect, I was expecting a different outcome, and I'll just leave it at that. Like something could have went the other way, if that makes any sense. Because
So
because if you saw when people go to watch it, and they'll see how it plays out between the casting director and the other actress, the look on her face, you could have been like, maybe there's something else behind that I don't know. So
I really love the improv that Jen did with the hair flip. Like, I didn't even know I was flipping my hair in your face, and you're like, cracking up when we saw the playback of that.
Yeah, that was good. That was fun.
No, the music was great. I was like,
Yep.
I'm over here rocking out. I'm over here like, yeah.
Lito, you did everything. You did the score. You did all the music, correct?
That's killer, bro.
That was not me. I'm
That
not
wasn't
sure
you?
where that music clip came from. No, that one was not me.
You did that end credits though, right? That was yours for sure.
It was good.
Well,
Yeah.
Ashley originally had because that scene, right? It was inspired by Jawbreaker.
Yeah.
And so it
Oh,
Imperial
I see it.
scene, Ayehu on it.
Oh,
I think
I see
I have
that.
nice.
I see
have
that.
I see it.
version on my Instagram in my reels playing with that music with the what are they the Yahoos or Yahoo?
Ayehu.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I envisioned that moment while I was writing it.
Oh, I
That's
totally see
great.
it. That's such a fun movie. Jawbreaker, such a fun
Oh, yeah.
movie.
I haven't seen it in years. I got to watch it again. It's been a while.
It's
It's
good.
so good.
And we do have, so there's that, and there's the teaser. So let's take a look at the teaser real quick.
Yeah, Lito cut that trailer in a day, I think, for like 8 hours or something.
That's a big ass knife.
Yeah.
Big ass knife. I'm like, dang.
Go,
all right.
go.
Yeah.
I was a little worried with that one.
That's kind of scary.
And you know the funny thing is that knife, even though it's big, it's still smaller than the knives that we had in the 70s. Because the butcher knife that I use, the butcher knife I use when I'm playing Michael Myers is like
Still bigger?
it's like this. And Jennifer's like, were they that big? And I was like, they were really way too
Oh,
big.
yeah.
They were huge. They were like machetes. And it was like, who's gonna use this in the kitchen?
That is awesome. Now you got some great stills, some great photos, and just beautiful ladies overall. I would just say that. I
Well, I
mean,
want to give a shout out to Robert Bravo, who did the special effects of this movie, who did one of the most amazing jobs I've seen.
We are very lucky to have him for sure. He was wonderful.
Robert Bravo, Robert and Angelina. Is it Angelina?
Angelina,
Yeah.
Angelina Butera, who did an incredible job. I mean, the three ladies are already fucking stunning. Like, I'm like standing there on the set looking at the three of them, and I'm like, well, I'm married to this one, so I know
lucky bastard.
I know how lucky I am. But the other two are so goddamn beautiful too. It's like, but she took it to another level. Like when she came out, I was just like, can we have like 10 minutes real quick? Because
We'll be right back.
we just gotta go.
Break.
Break.
Oh.
But
Yeah,
she was
she was
amazing.
wonderful.
And David Navarro, our cinematographer, was, I mean, he was outstanding. Like he would just get the shots in a way that, you know, when you saw it play back, you were like, oh my God, like that's fucking gorgeous. There are shots in that film that even though they're kind of, you know, what's going to happen, you're just watching it and you're like, God, this is beautifully shot. It's a shame everything's going to go to shit.
Yeah,
One question I did have. I'm sorry. The question is, this premiered at the Shaka Go Film Festival, correct? Did any of you guys attend that? Because I know it was in New York, right? It was in Brooklyn?
Yeah, it was Brooklyn, but unfortunately we couldn't.
I know you guys were all on the West Coast. I didn't know if anybody actually came to it or not.
I did have a friend of a friend that showed up to it and was able to, like, you know, see the atmosphere, take pictures and some videos for us and kind of just you know, tell us what happened. And they ended up really liking the film, and we got some, you know, positive responses from that. So we're excited.
Nice. That's
We
wonderful.
will be having a West Coast premiere though, in the Bay Area, but I'm not allowed to say anything just yet. But in a couple of days, like 2 days, I'll be able to announce it.
Oh, nice.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah,
Because
thanks.
I didn't realize, because when I was researching and looking at other stuff, and I saw, like, because I live in Northeastern Pennsylvania, I work in New York most of the time in Manhattan, and I was just like, I didn't know anything about that, and I was going to yell at Lito and be like, "Were you here for that? Didn't tell me you were here." But
I would have hit you up.
I would be like, "Well, did they come in and not tell us?" I'm like, "Oh, fine, be that way then. Okay, I see how it is."
I would never do that. I promise.
I figured as much. That's why I threw it out there, because I wasn't sure who attended or if anybody actually had attended it or not. Was that the first time it was shown publicly?
Yes. Yeah, that was the first time. That's why I was so sad I couldn't make it.
It's a long trip. That's
I would have known. I've been like, "I'll go."
That's in Patland. That's in Patland.
Long
That's
trip.
it. I'm in Manhattan. I'm like, I would have went
Oh.
Absolutely.
if I had only known.
Poop.
So are there anything you would like to interject about the film, or anything you'd like to tell any people that may want to view it? Anything that they should look forward to? Anything like that?
I just want to say how goddamn funny it is.
There you go.
Ashley's character, I was cracking up I was trying to hold it. And again, I've said this before, where she did a lot of takes different ways using her comedy. And of course, you can only choose one edit, but there were a lot of great takes with what was going on there. And we finally saw the final cut, but I had met up with Ashley at a Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf in West Hollywood, around her neighborhood. And we were laughing so hard watching this movie on our phone. I think one guy got up and stormed out.
Yes. That was a lot of fun.
And then some other guy was sitting, like, it was practically empty. Some guy sat next to us and started like wrinkling a newspaper, and Ashley's like,
It's like, seriously? Like out of the whole like space, you choose right here,
There's like a whole bunch of empty tables on the other side. You can't go over there.
right? And we're all like trying to listen to it because we have the volume down kind of low. We don't want to disrupt, there was nobody there, but still we were being respectful.
I'm that person that gets angry when other people, but yes, we were trying to be respectful. But I think some guy was like hearing the horror noises and are laughing.
You're watching it and you're holding up the line. There's people behind you. You're like, no.
Hold on. We're almost done. I also, before I forget, I want to make sure that I mention the poster artist, Max Cave, because when the film was getting ready to enter post-production, I contacted Ashley and I told her, I said, I really want there to be a poster for this film, and I want it to be something that's very reminiscent of the great posters that I grew up with, art posters, not Photoshop posters. I wanted an artist to be able to create something that captured likenesses, captured character essences, captured, said something about the film without giving too much away. And Max, he had to go back and forth a few times just to fix some things. And then also I was like, oh, tweak this pose, or, maybe fix this and that. But I feel like in the end, he delivered something that every time I show it to someone in my family or one of my, close friends, they're like, oh my God, that looks just like Jennifer. And I'm like, well, that's why we hired the guy. So, so hats off to Max.
Yeah. I know the poster came out really great.
Did I read something that he did the poster for Night of the Demons?
He might have done a poster for, I think, like a reissue or a foreign issue of that film, because Max does a lot of work for overseas. I think he's located in Italy, if I'm not mistaken. And he does a lot of overseas international releases of films that we all love and we all grew up with. And that's one of the reasons why I reached out to him, because he did the poster for Bedridden, the feature film that I scored. And I saw that and I started digging through his profiles on like social media. And I was like, holy shit, this guy's incredible. He's just what we need. He's like, he loves the genre. He gets the genre. He has a passion for the genre, and he was able to capture likenesses in a way that, like, I mean, we wanted it to sell the film as best as it can, you know, and I think it does that job. I mean, you get an idea of what's going on, but not too much, thankfully. So,
I mean, to me, the poster tells the story. Like, you know what you're getting yourself into, kind of.
Yeah.
You know what the vibe that I get when I see this, honestly, you might remember this, Lito. Dr. Giggles. Do you remember that?
yeah.
Where you see his eye line, and then he's wearing the face mask like this below. So where the ladies are, I get such Dr. Giggles vibes. This is killer, dude. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. It was a cool thing to collaborate on, because I'm an artist, but I mean, I'm not that good of a visual artist. But I can draw things, like I've drawn set design diagrams for the Scream documentary that we did. And I came up with the concept and sent it to Max, and I was like, look, you're obviously going to make it look a million times better than I did, but this is what we want. And when he, you know, took off and ran with it, I was just like, thank you.
What makes this perfect is if people look in the word bloodbath, look at the A.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That is like the best final touch on that, because if you look at the A, you see
Ashley,
he's got them both grabbed there.
Explain that.
Okay, so that image is an actual real image. That is Lito, Jennifer, and I. And my original vision for the poster, which you can see this A much bigger in my little mock-up photo that I did when we were doing our GoFundMe. You have me on the ground, and you have Jennifer on the ground. She's getting her hair pulled. I'm getting my leg pulled back, and Lito's right there holding us. And it just happens to form an A. And when we were going through our post-production with Indiegogo, I was looking through the title and everything, and something just like, I was like, this looks like an A. What if I just put this here, you know, because I'm trying to make things a little bit different for our advertising. And it ended up being something that made it onto the poster.
It really was, when you showed it to me the first time, I was like, holy fuck, that is genius. Like, because it reminds me so much of a lot of these kind of grindhouseier films, horror films, like I Spit on Your Grave, and like some of these other films from that era that, like, it speaks to that in a way that, even if it's not necessarily directly representative of something that happens in the film, there's such a savage brutality to that pose. Like when you described when you wanted to take that picture, and I like look down at Jennifer, and she looks up at me, and she's like, because she'll tell you, she will readily admit she has very fine hair. And I was just like, wait, how am I'm going to like yank her hair out of her head. And then Ashley's like, she could use a wig. And I was like, oh, thank God I didn't even think of that, because like I was sitting there panicking. I was just like, how am I going to do this?
What's actually really funny, when we took that original photo, I was wearing a blonde wig and Jennifer was wearing a brunette wig. So it was like, we didn't look like anything.
Well, just kind of going back to what you guys were asking about, when, like, do we look for, are we hypercritical of different horror movies and stuff like that? Yeah. And I just wanted to say, for me, I'm very hyper attuned to detail. And that's what I'm looking for, is whether the movie, sometimes it's not as great because budget can get in the way of that. Sometimes if people are thinking outside of the box, the budget isn't the factor, really. And what I think is so genius, I'm just learning about this. I'm really impressed with what opened your eyes to that A shape and what to do with it, is finding those little intricate details that make horror so wonderful and artistic and unique, because it's based on an idea that's been done over and over again. And it's a style. I think when people are putting their style, the details in there, and I've worked on plenty of films where, and not to name names or anything like that, but the people, the directors or the people putting them together weren't paying attention to detail. And I'm like, "Ugh."
No, when I saw this,
That's what
it spoke
gets
to me.
me. But then again, Ed Wood was not paying attention to detail, and look what he made of that.
Yep.
Sometimes that works. And here,
Amazing.
because the detail here is where you see that A, and then you see where it says Final Girls, and the apostrophe is red as well. Because I guess it looked like a blood drop. That's what I'm assuming. But I'm looking at the picture of Lito, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, why does it remind me of somebody else? Did you ever see that movie Nobody Lives? Or No One Lives?
Yeah, long.
You guys know what I'm talking
I
about,
have
right?
not.
Remember the guy
I
in
have
that?
not.
Doesn't it look like him in that movie? You guys remember what he looked like? Remember because you see his face more towards the end. Go see. It's called. Is it No One Lives? I think it's No One Lives, right? So basically, this guy goes around and like he was chasing this one person, and along the way, every person, his philosophy is he's trying to get this one person, this one girl. And when you come across people, sometimes you try to kill them, and sometimes they live. His philosophy was nobody lives. Like make sure he takes everybody out before he gets to his main target. And that picture looked at that because sometimes you only see from the nose up on him. That's why I was looking. I'm like, who does this remind me of?
Ah,
Yeah, go check it out.
It's all in the eyes.
all in the eyes.
The eyes.
Yeah, and you definitely had some crazy eyes. I was because I was watching it. I was like,
Well, he's done a
I'm like,
lot.
man, Leo was having a bad day that day because he's scaring me.
Yeah, Ashley was saying that I have a lot of practice. I wear a lot of masks, so that's you got to act with your eyes.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
Nice.
Great. So, what do you guys have anything else you want to add? Anything else you want? Anything? Like I said before, if there's anything you guys are working on that you can talk about, that so other people could go forward and look at it. I was throwing everybody's information out there. Hopefully, I got everybody's information out there right. So, you got the Final Girls. You can follow there. You can follow Ashley because you do have your YouTube channel, which is where I copied the trailers and everything from. And you can go to her main account. You find buddy Lito. Lito, I know I always see Lito mostly on Instagram and on Facebook, but I know your main page has all your links. So anybody wants to find all the links there, they can check out Jen, Run for Your Life Fitness. And when I just watch all this stuff you're doing, I just get out of breath watching you.
Because she's a beast. She's a beast.
I'm just watching. I'm like, God, I wish I had that energy. And Lindsey, Lindsey's on Instagram, and that's when I saw you playing guitar. I was like, wow, she plays guitar in a band. Does the band have anything that you could promote?
Yeah, I was just going to mention that. So yeah, you can follow me at Lindsey Lemke. I think it's a black and white photo. That I don't know the handles. I always have to look it up. But you can follow Lost Tapes. I believe it's just at Lost Tapes.
Very nice.
And I know there are talks of some upcoming shows. It's a kind of new project. I'm new in the band. We were talking about touring, but yeah, I think we have some more LA stuff coming up. So stay tuned for that.
Very nice.
How many people are in the band? So it's you. And,
it's a 3-piece.
3-piece?
So it's Shak Zietmal. He's been around a long time. I believe he was the drummer for Thrill Kill Cut and Ministry for a period of time.
Oh, really? Nice.
Wow.
He's also the drummer for a band called Crow Jane, but he also has, he's got a lot of projects. I'm trying to think of the other one, Red Light District. And he produces a lot of stuff. So this is my understanding because he works nonstop. So my understanding is this is like his project that's core to who he is and what he does. So he asked me to come play guitar, and I dusted off my guitars and I'm back.
Awesome.
You guys have anything on YouTube where we can watch videos or anything like that? Or
there's some videos on YouTube. He posts a lot on the Instagram page as well, and it's a lot of visuals. So I've only done 2 shows with Lost Tapes so far, but we always have a projector in the background of all our visuals with the music. We cover a couple songs. We cover To Look At You by In Excess, and another one by The Glove, Mouth to Mouth. That's a lot of people don't know it. I'm sorry, I'm blanking out. That guy.
You know the guy.
The Cure.
With the face. The guy with the face.
The guy. This is the guy. Yeah,
The guy.
that's right. That's wonderful. No, that's great.
Awesome.
I
No,
will look
definitely
for
check
you
that
on
out. Yep.
Instagram and follow. Follow.
And also, you asked, do we have anything else that we want to say? We do.
Mhm.
All of us, I'm sure I can speak for all of us in this instance. We're all very thankful for all three of you bringing us on and doing this, because there aren't a lot of people that are necessarily interested in discussing 10-minute independent horror films. I've tried in the
You
past.
found the right
believe
guys.
me.
Oh, absolutely.
Shame on them.
Yeah,
Shame
what's
on
wrong with
them.
me?
Very
And this
thankful.
goes back to people not opening themselves up to different things.
We're
That's the problem.
Wankas. They're
Similar
wankas.
podcasts on YouTube that we're affiliated with or friends with have a lot of horror short films are quite our thing. Really, we're seeing more and more of it.
Is this in, Lindsay?
I mean, some people don't have the time to sit down for 30 minutes or an hour or 2 hours. So
You're on the right path, my dear, because the American, how do I say this? What's the phrase I'm looking for? Our attention span is very small.
They need it
No,
now.
they need it.
They need it now. And they need it to be
Fucking
short.
Lose
especially with
interest.
like TikTok and
Yeah.
everything, like
Yeah.
people don't have the time to to watch a whole
Yeah.
long.
People
That's
lose
the thing.
interest in a short amount
Fast.
of time.
They need to be like,
and you
and
got to hit them hard. And I love that
it's social
short
media
tweet
that's
shit.
That's
done
why
it
we
to
feel bad when our shows go 3 hours, right?
and that's honestly a great
No
point.
one's
Brent. Like,
watching. Everybody's asleep. And we're
You know what,
like
Jen?
hours
Well,
and
we're,
shit.
we're friends. We're all just
shit.
hanging out. It's just, it doesn't matter.
last week you did what, 4.5 hours?
Driving and
Yeah.
listen to it. I do that a lot
Yeah.
with podcasts where I'll
Yeah.
let me find a podcast that's about X amount of time while I'm on my drive and just like listen to it the whole way.
But Pat is smart. He'll take the segment that we do, our top 5, and which is
Yeah,
like
our
10,
main
15
topics, right.
10 or 15 minutes, and he'll post them as a separate video, which is genius because
God bless Pat does that.
that's the attention span of most individuals. So the fact that y'all have a short film is beautiful. It's beautiful. It's
Yeah,
beautiful.
we just do this for
Beautiful.
fun because we enjoy meeting other people, and it's led to meeting great people like yourselves. And sometimes people like, you do all the analytics when it comes to YouTube and all this podcasting stuff, like, well, keep it short and sweet. It's like, you know what? Who gives a shit? We all have day jobs. I have a day job that pays my bills. This is like I said, this is basically what my wife said.
It's our fun social time.
Find another place to do it because I don't want to hear it. Go there and talk about
It's
your
like-
horror stuff and your Kiss stuff and your movies and your Halloween, because I don't want to hear it. Let somebody else hear it that wants to hear it. I said, well, maybe they don't want to hear it. She's like, I don't care. Just don't tell me.
It's like a form of therapy in a way, honestly.
Amen,
Like,
brother.
You know what it
Amen.
is? It gets your mind off of other things. That's why listening to podcasts, I listen to a ton of them. It's like
I
it gets
listen
your
to a
mind
bunch of
off of what's
different
going on
podcasts.
that's
Yeah.
driving you bonkers. And
Yeah.
My brain is mush most of the time. Like if people are watching or not, like I don't care. Like this is fun.
Amen.
It's very rare to just kind of get together with a group of people and everybody knows I know what you're talking about. Cool.
And we
You know
do
what I'm
it.
talking about.
We're here every Sunday night, 8:00 my time, 5:00 your time, and like people, how many times like we'll start, and then like 3 hours later, people come back. They're like, "You're still going?" They'll be in the
keep
chat
on
like,
going.
"You
We're
guys
like the
started, like 3
Energizer
hours
Bunny."
ago?" You know why? Because we bring up we during the week we get together and talk about certain things that we want to talk about. We pick like a main topic, a movie to review, a top 5. We talk about stuff because we're big collectors, and the thing is, like, these guys are like become 2 of my best friends. That like, it's like when you sit with your friends, what do you guys do? You just talk. Next you know, I'm like, oh my god, like Joe, right? Last week was what, 4.5 hours? We went
4.5. It was the longest episode we've ever shot. 4.5 fucking hours.
Wow.
There was pee breaks.
There was pee breaks. There was.
That's when you know
Thank-
you're having fun. When you
Yes.
don't
Thank God.
recognize the time.
I was just in the chat room. I had to go. I was like,
It's got to be the same process, and it's got to be a little stressful. But when you're creating something, we're having a show at the same time that we're having fun. You know, if you're able to make a film or have a podcast or whatever it is the fuck that you're doing and have fun while you're doing it, what's not to love, man?
Yeah.
What is the problem? Like I didn't know that we were, up until maybe a day ago that we were gonna have, 2 lovely ladies, a lovely friend, Mr. Lito and his lovely wife Jennifer come on the show and have an epic episode tonight.
Yeah.
Who would have knew? And
would've
to
known?
me, I'm just grateful that I get to experience this fun stuff with you lovely people. So to me, this is winning, man. This is winning.
We would
It's
be
great.
doing this if it
Strangers.
was tense and if it wasn't
Yeah.
positive.
Yeah, and don't be strangers. Anytime you guys want to just say, hit us up. Just say, hey, look, a new project I'm working on. Or you have some new music going on, Lindsay. And just say, hey, could I come on and talk about it?
Wonderful.
Hey, we're not like Joe Rogan or something like that. But you know what? Whatever. Put it out there, because the more people that know about it, the better.
Out of nowhere, we'll have people. We have a lot of regulars, but then we have new people. It seems like every week we're having new people coming.
Funny
on,
story. So we went out to H45, the Halloween convention in Pasadena, about a month ago. So, and we've been doing this podcast now. Brett, we did a podcast on a different channel about a year or so ago, and then we transitioned to this one
Since
back
February.
Since February.
Yes.
So we had a lot of people come over from that, and we've made a lot of other friends. And so we're at the hotel in Pasadena. So so my wife and I just walk in the door. You know, we check in and upstairs. I'm standing by the elevator, and somebody's looking at me going, "Don't you do that podcast? You're the Pat, the horror movie podcast." And I look at my wife and said, "See,
And his wife could
And
give
my
a
wife's like
shit.
rolling her eyes like, "Oh, Jesus
Looks like I
Christ."
just signed my first autograph. I couldn't give these away.
She's like, "I've been like this all weekend."
She's like, their wife could give a shit. She's like,
Can I
don't
take a
give
picture with you guys? We had a couple of photo
Funny thing
ops.
is, and like it happened more than once with her around, and she just kept looking like, I said, "See, there's other people out there just as messed up as your husband."
I don't know where we were. We were in line somewhere, Pat. Remember, we had a couple of people say, "Hey, can I take a picture with you guys?" We're like, "What?"
I'm like,
Let's
"What?"
let's put this into perspective. So I have literally met Lito and Jennifer the same amount of times that I've met Mr. Pat and Brett.
In person.
We all
Yes.
met each other for the first time in Pasadena. So it doesn't matter. It's like it's the vibe and the feel. And I love these guys, like they're my brothers, you know. And it's nice to just be around nice folks. So it's lovely. Thank y'all for joining us.
Where are you guys all located?
I'm in northeastern Pennsylvania. I'm on the border of New Jersey and New York.
Okay.
Suburban Chicago. So I got the best chance of seeing Lito and Jennifer first.
Yeah,
That's true.
right. And
Sure.
I'm in New Braunfels, Texas, formerly of San Antonio.
Oh, I moved here from Austin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No way.
know it well.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, it's just growing. As you know, San Antonio, it's moving upward up 35. So New Braunfels and San Marcos, and it just keeps growing and
I
growing.
notice it's spreading out to the suburbs and further
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
It's getting nuts. Like my daughters they're getting older, and I think we might want to move a little bit more north as it keeps growing. But I mean, we're happy right now where we're at.
Good.
Closer to Pat and I.
Yeah, yeah, a little bit more north, for sure.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
And everything happens for a reason. Like, it was great that it's funny how pieces fall into place, because when we started this podcast, and then actually we met Lito through a mutual friend, Anthony Massey, because he was working on the Halloween 2 board game. He played
Right.
Michael Myers in the video. And
Matt Russell that way.
And Matt Russell, so we met Matt, who was in the chat, and it was perfect. Because why? Because what are the odds that all of us were heading to California? Because within however many months that we met each other and became, chatty with each other and friends and whatnot, then we finally got to meet each other. Because if it wasn't for that convention, who knows when we would have gotten together. So that's why I'm a firm believer things happen for a reason.
I said it to Lito in a private message. I thought he was like another lost brother with all the similar stuff of being from the same area. It's like,
Oh yeah, the Chicago guys.
Yeah.
Brett, next summer we are going to cement this. When we get up to Chicago, we are going to fucking Wrigley Field, and I'm going to show you how I watch a Cubs game. And at the end of that game, we're going to be like,
wherever you want to sit, bleachers, upper deck, I don't care.
Oh, I'm in for that. I heard that. I'm in.
Are we talking about an invite? Because let me know now. I can start paying for it now. Let me know. I got.
Oh my God.
Let me know.
This is an open invitation to everyone.
That would be
Everybody come on, go to Wrigley
that would be
Field.
really funny.
That would be
1060
awesome.
West Adams.
That would be a great. I hope we could do that. That'd be awesome.
That's right. Well, Miss Ashley, I'm super excited. for the fact that I want to watch the movie that you've directed. I'm excited and I cannot wait. So when I'm driving back after my honeymoon and my birthday, it's probably gonna be the first film that I watch. So I can't wait. I'm super excited.
Thank you. And congratulations again. That just
Thank you.
So wonderful.
Thank you. I think I found the perfect lady.
He absolutely did.
She's my.
He did.
I always say that she's my best friend, and she's allowed me to be who I want to be. And if it wasn't for her, I probably wouldn't be doing what I'm doing with these two crazy guys. Honest to God, because she allows me to be myself, and there's no restrictions on times and everything. And it's just I'm super lucky and super just grateful.
That's wonderful.
Life is short, and the fact that you get to find somebody who allows you to be who you are, it's kind of rare nowadays.
A partner that lets you do that. Yeah.
Yeah, you get a lot of people that try to steer you to what they want, and she just lets me be a free spirit. So I'm grateful for that. And she's snoring right now. She was here earlier. I wish I would have been able to meet her, but she was like, "I'm tired, honey," and she's snoring on the couch. So
just what she wants everybody to know.
Yeah. But that's me, Big Mouth Joe. Big mouth.
That's sweet.
Yeah. So
it's awesome.
But thanks again, ladies. Thank y'all for joining us.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. So what we do is we do other segments on the show where we actually started our top 5. So, and if you guys have other commitments and you have to hop off, you're welcome to. But you're more than welcome to stay for our top 5. So we were at number 4. So we were doing a top 5 this week. Our top 5 movies to watch after Halloween. Horror movies to watch after Halloween, to be exact. And you guys are more than welcome to throw some out there off the top of your heads.
So y'all only have to come up with a top 3 because we already did 2.
Yep,
so
that's right.
think of 3 films that you would love to watch post Halloween.
You guys think of any off the top of your head?
It could be like, man, I'm so glad it's over. I want to watch this or whatever it is. Yeah.
All right, even in this situation, if you don't want to do a horror film, think of something else, maybe, right?
Yeah, if something else, whatever.
Yeah, it could
We're
be
just horror guys.
Steel Magnolias. Whatever.
Steel Magnolias.
I'm just saying.
Wow.
Spinal Tap, My Blue Heaven, all those.
As long as it wasn't like terms of endearment, I'd be like, then you examined.
That's right. That's right. Thanks, Maddie. That's great.
You guys think of any?
So who's next?
Well, you're next, Pat.
Patty.
I'll go.
We're at the top of the clock.
Yes, yeah. We'll give you some time to think about it. So I left off.
Stop it, Joe.
So many pages. So many pages. So little time. It's like Willy Wonka. Hold on. So we were number 3. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
My number 3 was what they just announced a sequel to. So my number 3 is It Follows.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
Scary as hell.
Big fan. It's got that great atmosphere, and you can almost incorporate it into a fall atmosphere.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I always think of
Great film.
the beach chair. Throw the chair.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. Oh.
Absolutely.
My number 3 is going to be Scream 2. And the reason for that is because Scream 2 was released shortly before Christmas. So you can probably guess what my number 2 is. It's Scream, because they were both released shortly before Christmas. And I always think of the holiday season when I think of those 2 films.
Awesome. Those are the top 2 films of the franchise, my friend.
They are. And I love
great
Scream
choices.
too.
Great choices.
Now, we were talking movies that not exactly related to the holidays, but things that you do around the holidays. Right around this time of year, you're shopping. So I've got Chopping Mall is my next movie with the robots.
Which, if you go into watching this, you have no inclination that it's about fucking killer robots. You know what I mean? You think it's like
Killbots is what it was originally called, I think.
It was the Killbots.
You have no.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Have a nice day.
You know,
It's got our buddy Dick Miller in it, who's been in a lot of movies.
Oh man! All right, my number 3, and I think it's a favorite of a lot of y'all's. I love me some from 1990, the Dark Man. Liam Neeson.
Oh, Larry Drake.
Yeah, man. Think about that film and how fantastic it is, and just post Halloween, and just you want some good gritty, eerie. It's a great film. I love Dark Man, so that's my number 3.
It's a fantastic movie. Yeah, I was actually. It's interesting that you brought that film up because right before the pandemic hit, my friend David Woodruff, who does a lot of the special makeup effects for projects that we've worked on, he and another makeup artist and I were in the process of planning our next big makeup for Monster Palooza, which was that spring, because we had done Fright Night. We did Jerry Dandridge on me. And the next thing he wanted to do was Darkman. So he literally made the teeth. They put the teeth in. They did the head cast. He had started sculpting it on my actual head, and we were going to do this big thing. And then the pandemic hit, and we've never gotten back. We've never gotten back to it, and we were both so bummed because we both loved that film so much, and the anniversary was that year, 2020, and we were just like, so maybe 2025.
Dude, that Darkman rocks, man. I always think of the scene in H4 where Loomis sees, Michael.
Oh, with his face.
Yeah, and he's wrapped in the bandages. I always look at the similarities in the two because they look so similar when it comes to that.
I was really happy. Sam Raimi was here at the Chicago Fan Expo, and a lot of people were getting that autograph, the poster. I was like, oh, that's good.
Darkman rocks ass.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. So good.
Yeah. Now, Lindsey, did you have a title? Was there something that?
Wait, how does? Sorry, my I was trying to get my battery plugged in, my charger plugged in here. So, how does this work? It's our favorite films or films we want to see.
We're thinking of what horror films or even any other films that you would watch after Halloween. If it could be leading up to Thanksgiving, Christmas, or
right, because most people are looking for something from the Halloween franchise or. Trick or treat stuff for Halloween. Now Halloween's over, so what would you watch after that? Because that's behind you now.
Are you sick of it? Whatever.
So surprisingly, it's been such a busy month with music and shows that I didn't really give myself a lot of time to watch, focus, sit down and watch horror movies. They're in the background. I was playing The Wolfman with Lon Chaney.
Nice.
So I would like to revisit a lot of classic. I know I'm not picking one, but I used to be, but very obsessed with Hammer horror and stuff.
Love Hammer.
And I know I have a lot that there's so much that was made that I still haven't seen yet. So I would love to start paying more attention to those again. Nice. But there's an inspiration I need right now. The other one that I do want to see, and a friend told me about it, the band The Birthday Party, which was Nick Cave and Bad Seeds. Boys Next Door turned into The Birthday Party. I guess they just came out with a documentary, and it's on Amazon Prime. So that's going to be my next thing that I watch soon.
Nice.
I'll have to check that out.
So we'll say that's a twofer for you. So we'll save those. Okay, that's two for one. So then, all right, good. Miss Ashley,
we grouped him.
Yes, absolutely.
But like I said, I'm very ADHD. So if you ask me one, I'm like a very busy ball of a lot of titles circling in there. Where I'm just gonna throw shit at the wall and see what sticks.
We love shit on the wall. We love shit on the wall. Mama.
We want shit on the wall.
Bring it. Yes, that's what we want.
For me, this time of year, it means something different. Ever since All Through the House came out and Christmas, Christmas has never really been the same since we filmed that, or even before we filmed it, because our place was full of Christmas stuff, for a whole entire year before we even filmed it. So this time of year is different. The thing that I look for the most, and this is my top 5, my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, is All Through the House. Just seeing the different, the people who have made it a tradition, every year they come around and they watch it, and every year we get new people who have just discovered it. And it's just something that's really exciting to see, the posts, to see. It really puts me in a feel good mood. So that's the thing that I look forward to the most. I don't really, I watch movies now, but and I watched pretty much like the same movies, Home Alone, you know, Elf is now like one of those, The Grinch Who Stole Christmas. We watch all of those movies, but All Through the House is what really like hits home for me.
Well, Ashley, sorry, go ahead, Pat.
Did anybody hear Lito get robot-y, or is it just me?
He
A
did.
little
He
bit.
did. He did.
Yes.
Johnny,
Talk
if I-
again, Lito. Lito, talk.
Chopping.
Hello.
Yeah, he got very. It's very robot-y.
Is it still robot?
Absolutely.
Yeah, back out and back in. Let's see if it clears it up.
Oh no.
But what we were telling Jen and Lito when we were talking about All Through the House, and what we do is we do every Tuesday night we watch a movie on this channel. We obviously can't broadcast the movie for copyright reasons, but we all put it on a separate screen and we watch it and discuss it while we're watching it. And come December, we watch Christmas horror movies. We'd love to have you all on and so we can watch it together.
Awesome. I would love that. I know my brother would love to come on here and talk about it. It's, you know, it's like I said, it hits home for us. It's something that's very special, and we're very fortunate that it's something that comes around every year and become, I don't know if you'd call it a cult classic or what, but we're part of that, you know, family, that Christmas family.
Absolutely, it is.
So
Well,
Lito, talk.
yeah.
Let me see if you're sound okay.
So is this any better?
Yeah.
Much better. So while you were
sounds
gone, I was mentioning
fantastic.
to Ashley how we do our watch-alongs every Tuesday, and I said how we would love to have you guys on to do a watch-along of All Through the House in December.
I would be so down for that. And Ashley, I was going to piggyback on what you said. It's the thing that always is weird as shit for me at this time of year, and I'm sure it is to a degree for Ashley too, is we get a lot of like people that'll just kind of message us on Instagram or Facebook, and it's like someone that you don't know, and you're like, should I check this message? Because sometimes you don't know on social media, and you accept it, and it's like this glowing, effusive, like, I found you after I saw your name in the credits, and oh my God, we love your film, and we watch it every Christmas Eve. And if I send you a Blu-ray, will you sign? Like, we've had people like ask us to sign things and ship it back to them, and it's always this time of year you get these random pop-ups, and I'm like, this is just kind of bizarre, but it's also amazing because Christmas films, they never die. Like, no matter what Christmas film it is, even if it's like Santa Claus Conquers the Martians, there's always going to be people that watch that film every year. So it's the gift that literally keeps giving.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
The gift
So
that keeps on
that's our
giving,
top
Clark.
5.
Yeah.
Actually, I can think of it now. My ultimate top Christmas movie that I do watch every year is it's called Nutcracker, the motion picture. And it's done. I know I'm not speaking to a ballet crowd, but that's like something like dear to my heart since I was a kid. It's creepy.
That's awesome.
That's what I love.
I used to go see the
Well,
Nutcracker
something
every
nice.
year. We used to go
Who-
see it
who's
on
the
Broadway every
illustrator
year.
that does Where the Wild Things Go?
Oh,
Right, you know what I'm talking about? That
do.
illustrator does a lot of the works in this movie. So
The big old monsters and all that stuff.
yeah, it's
Yes.
very artistic and it's a very strange film. So check that one out. It was really hard to find for so many years, but I know it's out there on like Prime and stuff like that.
Very nice.
is it Maurice Sendak? Is that right?
Yes,
No.
that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had to look it up. I cheated.
Yeah, so I did too. Don't worry.
Cheater. Well, I'm going to give my number 2, and it's
Did Ashley just fly across the screen?
Yeah.
It's
I'm just waiting to see what's going on. I'm just waiting.
There she is.
I'm trying I'm trying so hard to get my
But
phone to charge.
Bill-
but
Matt's got my number 2 on my list, Monster Squad.
Monster Squad. Yeah.
Oh, great.
Love that
Love
movie.
Monster
It's a
Squad.
great film.
Aren't they talking about doing a remake of Monster Squad?
They shall not.
I thought I heard that.
They shall not.
That's a tough one, Fred Decker. Oh, yeah.
Matt would know.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's his
ask Matt.
buddy. That's his buddy.
No.
We're when we went to dinner after the H45, he's like, "Yeah, I'm texting him right now." I was like, "Oh, jeez."
You got Brett?
Oh,
Number two
that's
for
me
Brett.
right now. I'm gonna go. I don't know where it links up to anything around this time of the year, but Paranormal Activity, the first one, it was just so effective when I first saw it. Went to bed with the light on. Wife made fun of me still makes fun of me to this day. So,
You big baby.
big baby. That's
That was
right.
creepy.
The first one. I think some of the sequels weren't that bad, but you can't do what the first movie accomplished. It was so effective, and the little budget, and Paranormal Activity. That was my number 2.
Very nice.
Nice.
Oh, man. My number 2, simple, 1994 is The Crow. Brandon Lee.
Oh my lord!
It just sets that dark theme. The movie is one of my personal favorites. It's a shame we lost him during the making of that film. Long story short, it's a great film. So that's my number 2.
Great soundtrack.
Oh, the best of the best.
You know, when I was in high school, I was so heavily into the sequel of The Crow.
Yeah,
like
is it
I
City
left
of Angels or something like that.
City of Angels. Iggy Pop was in it.
Yeah.
I just thought it was the coolest thing ever done.
Yes.
Well, not the coolest thing ever done, but it was like one of those movies that I watched over and over.
Sure.
I revisited it many, many, many years later, somewhat recently, and the whole time I was watching, I was like,
it's pretty bad.
It's rough, right? It's better than the Edward Furlong one.
every line that they said, I cringed. I cringed so hard, and we had different eyes when we were younger, I guess.
And that's the beautiful thing about movies is it's all periodic. It's all where you're at, who you are, what your interests are. It changes.
It does.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is too funny. Oh man.
Is
Ashley,
okay over there?
I'm here. I'm coming back.
She's making me nervous, like she's fighting somebody. It's like somebody keeps pulling her away.
Are we filming another movie here?
I was just going to say, we didn't let you know that Ashley is actually currently filming her new movie right now.
Well, don't forget, she is Wonder Woman, so she's probably changing.
Yes.
I thought
No,
about
You
that.
don't
I
know?
forgot. So you do Wonder Woman on the Walk of Fame?
I used to be for a long time. I haven't been out there for a while.
Oh, I was just saying, my God, I was just there when I was age 45. I was like, oh man, what saw you?
Oh man, I haven't been out there for a long time, but yeah, I was there for a while.
That's awesome.
And we did
Wow.
ADR for our film at the bottom parking garage of the
Yep.
Chinese theater. Can I say that?
We were trying to
Yes.
find a place that was kind of quiet, and the only place is really like if you go all the way down, nobody parks there like at all.
Nice.
So
And in their defense, they had to do that because the ADR that she had to record was a request from Benny, the editor, and he was very specific. He was like, you need to tell her that she needs to recreate the ambiance and location as best as she can. Otherwise, this is not going to work at all. So
Yep.
when Benny and I heard it, we were both like, holy shit, this is like perfect. So thank you.
I remember getting that email, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" Like, intimidating instructions where it's like, find a location similar. I'm like, I don't have access to a warehouse.
Warehouse.
and Ashley, who's been always so helpful with anything and everything, and she's like, if you need help, like, let me know. I'm like, okay, I'll just come out to you. And we parked my car, got on foot. We were looking at some parking garages off the Sunset Strip in West Hollywood. Nothing we could find. I think we got locked out of the hotel or some hotel. And then she's like, you know, when I used to do Wonder Woman on the Walk of Fame, the Chinese theater had a garage downstairs. So that was quite a day.
That's hilarious. That is hilarious.
Shit, I forgot where we left off. What number
I know.
are we at?
Who is next? Who's next?
remember.
Ashley, you said your 1 through 5 are all through the house?
Yeah, that's my top, my 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Oh wow.
Okay.
My whole Christmas experience.
Understood.
My number 2 is Scream. So
Oh, that's right. With Scream. That's right. Yeah, you said it before.
yeah. Yeah.
All right. So for me, when Halloween is over, of course, I get that post-Halloween hangover because I just love the fall atmosphere, especially when you're in the Northeast up here where I am. The leaves are falling, and it's such a nice time of year. It's hoodie weather because it's always cold. Actually, it's about 35 degrees outside right now. I start getting ready for the holidays, and like I said, I don't like to listen to Christmas music. It's too early for the Christmas music, but it's never too early for the original Black Christmas from 1974.
No, wow.
Yeah.
That's my number 1. That's my number 1.
Yep.
Oh,
Never too early for that film. Never.
I had a feeling.
yeah, it was going that
Yeah,
route, wasn't
kind
it,
of.
Joe? Yeah.
Yeah,
I had that feeling.
Pat. They're like, yeah, Pat's a little predictable. We kind of knew that's what it was going to be.
No,
so,
it's a good one though. Stop it.
A
Stop
fan-
it.
It's a classic, man. It's a classic.
It's a classic. It's been remade twice.
Right.
Only once decently. The other one,
Yeah, the last one was pretty bad, right?
Yeah.
Okay, my number 1, and just because it's a big salute to a lot of horror films, especially Halloween, is Scream, the very first Scream. No doubt about it. Wes Craven.
Awesome.
Wes Craven kicked ass with it, and the cast is awesome.
Yeah.
And Kevin Williamson, great screenwriter for his
And
time.
Brett, I'm sure when you first saw it, you saw it in theaters, right?
Sure did, no doubt about it.
Now, so you probably have the exact same memory. In fact, anybody that saw it in theaters probably has a similar, I shouldn't say exact same, but similar memory that I have is just when we would go to the theater during the holidays of 1996, it was very odd because if I'm not mistaken, Jingle All the Way also came out that year.
Put the cookie down.
95, 96, yeah, Turbo Man. The Turbo
So-
Man movie. Yeah.
So there would be other like Christmas movies that were playing, but literally in our town, it was Bloomington, Indiana, which is where we met, which is a college town because Indiana University is there. Nobody gave a flying fuck about anything but Scream. Like that theater was always packed, and like you would see lines and people like just getting all like rabid about going to see Scream again because they'd seen it like 5 times already. So like there's something about that movie that I always associate with like tinsel and garland and the Christmas tree in the lobby of the movie theater. Like it's just like it's all one and the same, even though again it was the biggest counter programming decision like ever when the Weinstein said let's release this at Christmas, and like everyone was like you're nuts, that movie is going to tank so hard, and it was like one of the smartest marketing choices
decision they ever did. Yep.
You know what's funny is much you love it a lot more than me, Lito. I don't even remember that it was around that time.
Wow.
I can remember it from other films, obviously, but
I remember being in the theater when it came out. I actually was
remember making a ton of money, being popular.
I was actually dating the girl before my wife, and I remember seeing it there. And I'm a child of the 70s, so the thing that stood out the most was like, I'm like, oh my God, it's the Fonz. I'm like, the Fonz is in this movie because I grew up with Happy Days. And out of nowhere, you saw Fonzie as the principal. You were like, the hell's the Fonz doing in this movie? And then when he gets killed, you're like, they just killed the Fonz.
Stabs.
That was the thing that stood out the most to me, being a child, especially I think one of the podcasts, I actually brought up a picture of me in my Fonzie costume from like 1977, the old style ones with like the mask and everything.
Winkler's an awesome guy to meet, too. Got a kick out of him. He's funny.
Nice.
Where we leave off?
Joe.
Number
Number one.
Our numero uno. So no, I'll keep it simple. 1989's Batman. We're talking about Michael
The
Keaton,
best Batman.
Jack Nicholson. I mean, Tim Burton, The Darkness. I always get into the superhero vibe once we get post Halloween, November, December, whatever. And I can't think of a better superhero film that meets kind of my liking. I could watch the whole, Batman and Batman Returns over and over and over and over. So that's my number one. And the Prince soundtrack. Come on, it's the best.
Man.
It's the best. It's the best. So
The best.
that's my number one. Yeah.
You're
Okay,
Tim
guys,
Burton, man.
Kind of spin mine off onto that one too. That's a number one for holidays because it was my childhood. Those movies that it was very appropriate for what was being pushed on kids like me at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Jack Nicholson is one of my favorite actors, and I love that when he's been asked what his favorite role is, it's the Joker.
Absolutely.
Oh shit! How could it not be? It's like
it's the best. Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight? What?
Yeah.
Where does he get those wonderful toys?
Had a lot of great roles. To me, it surprises me that that's his favorite, but it makes sense.
It's the best.
Yeah.
He is the best.
And actually, Lindsay missed the first part of it. But my number 5 when we first started was The Shining.
Oh.
Yes, The Shining. Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Where do they get a load of me?
Oop.
Joe, I just came past Bob the Joker's Goon, the old school figure from when I was a kid. I have it.
Oh, that's a rare figure, my friend. You gotta scoop that up.
I don't think I have his hat anymore. Sorry.
Oh, you gotta get it, buddy.
Anyways,
That's a
My
good one.
first, I'm remembering now, my first horror movie T-shirt I ever owned was, and I had to find it. This was before internet did exist. It did, but I had to find it in a catalog of T-shirts, and it was Jack Nicholson in his face, the close up when he's dragging the axe. It's that part of the movie. It's his face.
Yeah.
And I was so excited. I mean, I was all about wearing band T-shirts in the 90s and everything like that. I was a goth kid. And so I had my horror movie tee, and everybody's like, oh, cool. That's the Undertaker or some shit. And I'm like,
That's where you go smack. What?
I grew up in Milwaukee, so I think I don't know if it was the time period or where I lived, but a lot of the kids were obsessed with WWE, and I was so pissed off that this was being mistaken for something else.
I
Brett,
swear.
Wisconsin.
Hey,
Wisconsin. That's
Pat, I think we share the love for the scene where he's talking to Wendy. He's like, I'm just gonna bash your brains in, and he's like, he's like, yeah, he just wants. He's like, he does that shit. I was like, oh my god.
You know what? Part of that's probably legitimate working with Kubrick, right? Because he was such a nut.
This guy's out of his fucking mind. He's out of his fucking mind. I love it.
I love when he's locked in the storage, and he's talking to Wendy, and the shot is brilliant. It's a shot from him, from below, and he's leaning on the door, and he's just like, she's like, I'm gonna go call for help. He's like, go check it out. Check it out. And I'm watching this as a kid. I'm like, oh my god, is this? It's so creepy, but it's the best.
So good.
I think we
I
must.
think
Yeah.
Well, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is my favorite movie of all time.
Oh, such
It's
a
a
good movie.
fucking
So,
masterpiece.
I wish Jack was still doing stuff, but I think he's had enough without.
No,
this
he's
stuff.
done. I
He's
mean, he's
retired.
old
No,
enough.
last I read that nobody has seen him for a few years because he went in full recluse mode and he just reemerged.
Yeah, he just went to his first Laker game in a long time. I thought. something
Right.
like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But the way I see it, a lot of people are like, oh, I think a lot of great actors like Christopher Walken, Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, even they have I think when they're so good at their craft, they made so many wonderful movies that at the end of their lives, it's just kind of like people complain they were lazy. I'm like, well, they got a shtick, they got paid.
Right.
You're there to enjoy.
Well, you know why? Because they have to understand one thing: they're not all Clint Eastwood. Because Clint Eastwood went on a tear in the last 20 years, in the latter part of his life, where he was just churning out film after film, and it's just like, well, you know what? Some people can do it. Some people look at Gene Hackman. Have you seen pictures of what Gene Hackman?
He retired. He's done.
he's retired, and there's pictures of him, and everybody's like, wow, he doesn't even look the same. I'm like, what do you think happens when you get older? He doesn't look bad.
You know, you could be like a capitalist though, like Michael Caine. Remember, he did Jaws: The Revenge. He's like, "I paid for my house in the Bahamas."
Bruh.
It'll be John Carpenter. I'll do anything you want. Just give me a check.
Well, Brett,
Malcolm
and
McDowell.
Pat.
Yeah.
What's that?
There's
Lito?
that. I was just saying, there's the great quote from Michael Caine about that film is people would always ask him, "Have you ever actually seen Jaws 4? Because like we saw it and we kind of want to hold you accountable." And his response was always the same. No, I haven't, but I've seen the house that it built and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Right. That's right. Hey, the royalties for these legends, man. Come on. Let's not forget about the royalties. Let's not forget about that. So they don't need to work anymore. They're retired.
And as well they should. They've earned the right to just.
I really have to say, working a regular job does suck. So
Oh, it so sucks.
Yeah.
if somebody like handed me, if I was already on top of my game and somebody handed me Jaws 4, and I'd be like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, give me
I was like,
Sharknado
okay.
22. I'll do Sharknado 22. Shit, I'm on there. I don't care.
So, real quick, Pat, she asked me to interject. I'll let you go ahead and.
Well, my earbuds are dying, so I'm gonna pop out. But I'm gonna make dinner, so I'm sorry, but I'm getting really hungry.
We were both sitting here, and we were like muting the microphone every now and then. I was like, "Your stomach just did a good one," and she's like, "Your stomach just did a good one."
Anybody's got to jump. Go right ahead. We
Yeah,
just
we're-
go.
I'm
I
gonna
wanted to
piggyback
say
on
bye
that
and
too.
thank you all.
You're more than welcome to
This
jump
was
off if you have to,
Yeah.
but we're going to keep going because that's what we do. Because
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same
I
thing.
gotta
Gotta
go.
cook dinner.
I gotta go as well because I gotta go check on the snoring honey. I gotta go.
Thank you all.
We're all going.
Thank you guys so much for having us.
and we're
Absolutely.
going to reach out. So what's the best way to reach out to you guys in December so we can do the watch along of all through the house?
Either Lito or me.
All right, so I'll reach out to Lito and he can set up. He'll set up.
Lito, you're the middle one.
What night works best for the three of you though?
Yeah,
just so I know.
we usually do it on Tuesday nights, but if it works better a different night, then
We
just
could
say,
we
that's
could
fine.
work through it. Yeah.
Well,
Tuesday
we're
night
easy.
is not free. We're
Tuesday
talking
nights
about
no good.
the December one. We're
Yeah.
talking about. Oh yeah, I wouldn't be able to do Tuesday night, but any other night is fine.
What's a good night
Okay.
for you guys? Because we're flexible, so it doesn't make a difference for us.
Okay.
We
Oh,
just
and
tend to
we
do it
go
on
to
Tuesdays.
town early in the month too.
Yeah, we'll talk, and then I'll try and send that out to
Yeah,
Ashley
and I'll-
as soon as possible.
Yeah, let us
I'll
know.
talk to my brother too, because I have to check in with his schedule, but I know that he'll be for sure down for it.
Yeah, so just you guys let us know, and we have plenty of time to coordinate it. Pick a date that works for you guys, and we'll work around it. So don't even worry about it.
Awesome.
And you guys, and I mean this sincerely, thank you guys so much for your time.
Thank you.
If
Yes.
you guys have anything, like I said, we don't have the huge reach, but we're doing okay. You're more than welcome to come on and say, "Hey, Pat, I'm doing this, doing a film. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm doing some music. Like Lindsey does music. You want to come on? Just reach out to us. We're those guys because we love this. As you can see,
Yes.
because we're going on 3 hours because we just love this.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, and I can't wait to chat again soon.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thanks so much. So who's staying here? Who's going to hang out? Brett, you going to hang out for a couple of minutes? Joe's got to go.
Yeah, we can do. I'll do the close with you.
Yeah, we'll just do our
gonna
close.
head
We'll
out.
do our closing, but I'll let Ashley, Lindsey go. Lito, if you want to hang out, unless you want to go while she's making dinner, you can hang out with us if you want.
We're closing it out after it. So
Yeah, we're going to close it out. But thank you so much, guys.
Bye.
Thank you. Nice
Bye.
meeting
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Awesome.
Okay. Hi.
Hey,
Hey, if you want to wait, we're just basically just going to close it out. We'll do some quick shameless plugs. Actually, Brett, you want to do a collectible spotlight since you didn't do it last week? Is it the same one as last week?
yeah, that Italian poster. Do you still have
the
that? up?
Italian H2O poster?
Yeah, that huge ass poster I hadn't opened up in a long time.
Phil Florin, right? I do. Hold on.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
huge.
Wow.
That's our,
Pat,
that's
you
just-
have that, right?
I do. The Italian posters are ginormous.
Yeah, it came out to what, 46 by 60 or something like that? Some odd size.
Well, this is so the Italian posters tend to come in 3 different sizes. There's that Locandina one, which is the long, skinny one. So what size is this is one piece.
One piece. I think it's like 46 by 60 or
And
something.
then the other one I have is, oh God, I forget what the size it is, but they come in 2 sections. You have to put them together. They're so big.
That's right.
They're
Yeah,
2
you've shown that.
pieces. Yeah, they're like billboards. Because I remember when the first time I got one years ago, and I called it up. I go, they're like, and I sent them. I bought it on eBay. I'm like, wow, this thing looks awesome, and it comes in 2 pieces, and it's perfectly symmetrical. Like it's not like it's torn apart. It's machined that way. So I reached out. I go, why is this in 2 pieces? And they're like, it's supposed to be in 2 pieces. That's the way those posters are. They're too big to send out in 1 piece. I was like, oh, okay. And I have several ones like that. So I was like, oh, all right, that makes sense.
This was the very first thing I ever bought at my very first convention I ever went to, Wizard World, in 2000. Chicago here. Long time ago.
Very cool. So what did I have in my, I forget what I had for my, what did I find? Oh, I did this feeling nostalgic because I'm still feeling that Halloween hangover. And I've told everybody the story of when I first saw Halloween, which was on HBO, October 31st, 1980. So I was pleasantly surprised to pick this up on eBay, probably about 10 years ago. This is one of the promotional press photos for when it premiered on HBO back in 1980.
Wow, that's awesome.
It's awesome.
So it was this popped up and I'm like, yeah, I want to have this. So yeah, I was a sniper. I got it at the last second. I was a dick. But I'm like, this needs to be in my collection for sentimental reasons. And the funny thing is, so if you actually go on YouTube, there's a guy, I forget his name. He used to put up a bunch of different bumpers from like HBO intros from when you used to watch HBO back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the bumper from the end of Halloween on October 31st, 1980. The first time I saw it. So you hear the last couple of bars of the Halloween soundtrack, and then the bumper shows Magic because Magic came on with Anthony Hopkins.
That's right. That was on YouTube. You and I found it once. And
remember, I brought it up on one of the shows and I played it. So you hear that, and then it shows Magic right after that, and then it shows you the intro into Magic. And I reached out to the guy. I'm like, where did you get this from? And he posted like how he's got all these videos, and he actually has a video that from a recording of Halloween on VHS from that night. And I'm like, and I told him, but he's like this big guy. I don't want to pirate anything. I'm like, no, I'm not going to pirate it. I just want that copy because this is the first time I saw it, even though it's just like a recording. But he never got back to me. So
Magic, that's a good film.
That's a great film.
Richard Attenborough,
Anne Margaret, cute as hell.
Burgess Meredith,
That's right. He
was
the
great
same
in
that too.
Same birthday as Joe and my daughter. November 16th.
Burgess Meredith get drowned in that water. It's like, seriously, who's gonna kill? Why would you kill Burgess Meredith?
Why would you kill the penguin?
Why would you kill Mick?
Yeah, Mickey. Yeah.
Come on, Rock.
Get me, Mick.
Or the horny old man in frickin' the Grumpy Old Men movies. He was so good in those movies. Right. Oh God. Gonna put the hot dog in the bun.
All right, so we'll do our quick shameless plugs for the channel because by that time, hopefully, Lito's dinner's gonna be ready. I mean, we don't want it to get cold.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go next door to my neighbor's house and probably watch what's left of the football game or catch up on what the hell happened today. I don't even know who was the 8:00 game tonight. The 8:30 game.
Buffalo and
Bills,
somebody.
Bills and Bengals.
Okay, so I'll go.
It's a good game.
He was texting me. He's like, "You still on?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm still on. I'll be." So let's do this real quick, and we'll do some shameless plugs. So for those that don't know, so quick, Lito, while I got you. So I know Ashley was mentioning probably her Patreon. How can people find out where she decides to release this?
Okay, so
if people want to go forward, and so we can obviously throw it out there too.
Yes. So if you go, let me real quick make sure that I don't give you the wrong.
We did an inhaler in this poster. Maybe to make one of the L's an inhaler.
I saw it. I was like, you know me.
Even though people would be like, why is there an inhaler on this thing?
Here's mine right here.
You see me. So if you go to Patreon, you can search, use the search bar to just search Ashley Mary Nunes, or you could just type in patreon.com/Ashley Mary Nunes, and the last name is spelled Nunes. So it's pronounced a little differently apparently than you would think it is, because everybody always, I think, says Nunes. And I actually said Nunes for years before Todd was very kind about it. He was like, it's actually Nunes. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yep,
so
yeah, when Nunes, I think you have the Z at the end. Yeah, usually Nunes has got the Z, the Spanish version of it. Yeah. So you can find it. You can find it there. And I think she was trying to decide which tier she was going to do to give people to access it. So I can't say for sure, but she will more than likely post updates on Instagram and all those places, or Final Girls Bloodbath, and any of the pages will have that information on there. All right. And then we'll find out and we'll post it too. Just let me know where it's going, and we'll get, us, we'll throw it everywhere we can.
Thank you guys.
So that's
this
that.
Was a lot of fun.
So everybody, we're always live every Sunday night, 8 o'clock Eastern, on YouTube. But then you'll be, if you guys don't want to see our beautiful faces, you might want to see Lito's. You don't want to see our faces.
No.
Tomorrow morning we'll be streaming on these beautiful platforms here. So if you just want to listen to us, we're streaming tomorrow. What else we got on here? Make sure you subscribe to the channel. It helps the brother out. Helps us find some more people we can annoy the hell out of. Make sure if you're on Facebook, go check out the Horror Movie Podcast. Our Facebook group tells you what's going on in the channel. I'm trying to get more people to come out of their shell and post, not just me. I'm like, come on, guys, the water's warm. Post as much as you want.
That's difficult. That's difficult to do.
It is. It's like, come on, guys. Nobody bites. So I have my 1031 subscribers giveaway. We're just under 100 people. So when the channel hits 1,031 subscribers, I will give away one of my non-exclusive Dr. Chalice figures, because it's not exclusive anymore. And to sweeten the pot, this coming Friday, I'm going to Monster Mania, where I'm going to have it signed by Mr. Tom Atkins himself. So you're going to get a signed copy of it. So that'll enhance it a little bit better. Yep.
That's awesome.
Yep. So make sure you subscribe.
Did a great job on it.
So this Tuesday, our next watch along is Tuesday night. We're watching the Slumber Party Massacre.
The Drill.
Come watch the Driller Killer. You guys are pretty.
What's his name? Thorne, right?
I love you guys.
Kevin
He's so
Thorne? No.
creepy. I love that guy. He does conventions too.
He's going to be at Days of the Dead here.
Yeah.
Got to get my Shout figure signed.
Yeah. So we're watching Slumber Party Massacre this Tuesday night, 8 Eastern. And this Wednesday we're finishing the 2018 novel. We finished the last 10 chapters, 31 through 40. So as soon as we finish this, 2 weeks after that, we're doing what? Starting Halloween Kills. We're going straight to Halloween Kills. We're going to read that novelization. And admittedly, I don't read any of these books. I do Audible. I don't have time to read. I just listen I listen on my way back and forth to work. So God bless Audible.
Whatever way you got to get it done. I'm just kind of laughing to myself because I'm thinking the novelization of Halloween Kills. Chapter 1, Michael fucks some people up. Okay. Chapter 2, Michael fucks more people up. Chapter 3, Michael kills somebody. Oh my God, what the hell? Anything else?
Michael gets his house back.
Rinse, repeat.
Yeah. Because that movie was savage, man.
Did you hear John Carpenter saying that's his favorite of the new movies?
Yes, he did say this was his favorite of the
He's
three.
like, by far. I was like, oh.
Admittedly, if it wasn't for the hospital nonsense, this probably would have been my favorite, because those flashback scenes gave me goosebumps. It took me right back to being a kid in 1980.
It's a good popcorn Halloween film.
It is. It's good.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish they would have did more with the legacy characters than just have them there to just basically kill them off.
Well, the original concept was this movie was mostly going to be in 78. And then the third movie was going to finish off the night instead of being, 3 years later, 2 years later, whatever it was.
Yeah. And it's funny because, again, not to be that guy, but if we're talking about what we, in a perfect world would have loved to have seen, I almost wish that Halloween Kills would have been like the Godfather Part 2 of the Halloween franchise. Go back and forth between 78 and present day. And like maybe somebody mentions like when he was in the hospital, like they said he spent, years on end just not doing anything. And then go to a flashback of Loomis like trying to reach him and show us a little more of that, because fans have wanted that.
It's a great analogy, and that's a great idea. I didn't even think of that. That's actually really good.
Yeah,
that would have been
awesome.
perfect. That would have been perfect. That would have been perfect if they would have did that and just kept going back and pulling pieces of it like that. I mean, they only did it twice.
Yeah, and not too much even, because you don't even need that much, because the flashbacks were so well done. Like literally, I was with you. I saw that. I think I told you I saw it at a preview screening in February, the year it was supposed to come out. I think it was right before the pandemic. And we had to sit on having seen the movie and having seen those flashbacks in a preview screening. We couldn't tell anybody anything about it because we signed paperwork until the next year, that fall, when it came out, because all I wanted to do was just scream to the heavens, like, the flashbacks are so good. Like,
Lito, I was in the theater by myself because I saw, 2018, I saw with my wife and my son, because my daughter, too coolio for schoolio to go out with your parents. So she didn't go. So it was the three. So, and then when Kills came out, everybody was busy. I forget what they were doing. So I went to the Thursday night screening because they always open up the night before. So I knew the flashback scene was coming. I was that guy that was an asshole that somebody sent me the script and I read it to see, because I just can't wait when it comes to Halloween.
The leaked script was pretty close though.
It was pretty accurate, but if you read the leaked script, it didn't show you like 5 minutes in, you were into the flashback scene, because it did not show that. So we're sitting in the theater and it was packed. I'm by myself, and they went back to 78. And I was like, yeah. Some guys look at me like, yeah. I was like, dude, we just went back to 78. And I'm around all these younger kids, and I'm the old fart there. And I was like, yeah, I'll stay here. This is where I want to stay.
Yeah.
Don't leave. Stay right here.
Yeah.
Or go back and forth like that Godfather 2 stuff. Yeah.
So
then we could have saw how that idiot Tarhane got involved. What the hell his name was? Nah, not really. You didn't have to bring him back.
So yeah, we'll be starting a novelization. So we're gonna read through the novelization. I don't even remember what else did I put on here. Oh, I'm still in my what ifs on how I could make the thumbnail make Brett laugh. So I dropped my Halloween Rob Zombies what if.
The Yahoo Serious Einstein hair.
And then this Thursday, you're going to get my what if for Halloween 2.
Good Lord.
Perfection.
The Viking Myers.
Viking Myers, yeah. So that'll be on Thursday. And what else is I'm psyched about this. I got back on my 70s movie reviews. And one of the creepiest films from the 70s. If you've not seen Alice Sweet Alice, go back and watch Alice Sweet Alice.
Look at that. Yeah.
Such a creepy film. Have you guys seen it?
Nope.
I'm trying to remember if I have. What is the basic plot?
The basic plot is, it's called Alice Sweet Alice because it's a story of a mother. She's divorced. Okay. She has two children, two girls. One girl is right around the time that daughter is supposed to make her first Holy Communion. They're very religious. They go to a Catholic school.
Yes.
And the young girl is a young Brooke Shields. The daughter is Brooke Shields. So she's getting all these accolades, and the older sister Alice, who's a little off, a little dark, is all pissed, and she's just jealous, and all this other shit goes on. So long story short, Brooke Shields gets killed. She gets strangled, which is pretty odd to see a kid get strangled and killed, and it was Brooke Shields. Kid not only just killed, but not to spoil it be too spoilery, but she gets killed in some other ways. So other things happen too. So long story short, the whole film, the parents are not suspecting Alice, but the police are, and things keep happening. And the reason you see this famous shot of this weird mask wrapped in this yellow like raincoat. Is the raincoat it's like a raincoat, and if you ever watched when you watch the film, it's emblazoned with the Catholic school. I think was it St. Joseph's, St. Thomas, something like that. I forget. Is emblazoned on there, so that all the kids have it. So you don't know who it could be, or whatever. And it turns out that Alice has this mask, so that they start suspecting her. She goes after the aunt, who's a little leery of her and sort of blames her. So there's a lot of crazy shit that happens in this film, including the landlord of the house that they're living in was this big, huge, fat guy who basically he's like instead of being the crazy cat lady, he's a crazy cat guy. Like he lives with these cats. He's feeding them cat food and then he's eating it out of the cat can and everything. It's just a very creepy film, and they go after him. Long story short, it's a twist ending, without spoiling it. If you guys haven't seen it, where the person that's actually doing the killing, which obviously I just spoiled it because it's not Alice. It's the last person to expect that she would kill people, and then when you find out the reason why and how she's discovered towards the end, it's a very creepy, atmospheric film, and it's very in the vein of, like, if you watch it. I think when I did my review, I said the way it's shot, it's very it's not demonic, but the way it's shot and the way it's framed almost reminds you a lot of The Omen. And it was also released in '76. So
I feel like I've probably seen parts of it, but I probably saw it when I was so young that I don't remember, honestly. But now that you've described it, I want to go back and watch it. So
yeah, it's very creepy, very atmospheric. The only people in it that you'll recognize that really went anywhere. Oh, actually, the one, oh God, what's her name? The woman that plays the mother. Oh shit! I think I wrote it down because I don't remember names anymore. Long story short, the woman that plays the mother of Brooke Shields and Alice is Jackie Gleason's daughter. And she was married to, I'm forgetting his name in real life. Is it Jason Miller, Father Karras from Exorcist?
Yes.
She was married to him. And their son is who's the actor? His son, Jason Patric.
Jason Patric.
Yeah. So this is his mother, who plays the mother of Alice in this film.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's
a lineage.
Yeah. It's a fun, creepy, and it's about just shy of 2 hours, but I think it was about an hour and 50 minutes.
Look at those eyes. Woohoo!
Yeah, and
Bonkersville.
It's just got some, for the time, especially around the time of being released around The Omen. It's got a lot of, like, the Catholic. I grew up a Catholic. I went to Catholic school for 12 years. It's got the whole lineage and the way some of the Catholics were like, shh, and some of the weird shit that goes around it. It's a fun movie to watch. Maybe for like a younger generation, it might be a little dated, but
yeah,
horror. If you're like a horror cinephile and of my age group, or just like movies in general, like you guys are, you'll enjoy it.
Sweet.
So that'll be out. I think next Friday. I haven't even edited it yet. I was going to edit it today, just didn't have the time. So that'll be out next Friday. And then also when you'll be watching it, I did this video interview on Halloween with this guy, Greg, from the Mean Machine Radio Show. We had a lot of fun. And he's got the same mindset as us. Same movies, same sick sense of humor. So go check him out. And all you collectors, reach out to us, because now that Halloween's over and cosplayers want to have some people on the channel. Just bring some people in and just have some fun. And those are all the same as plugs. And you guys got anything else you guys want going on? Anything you got, Lito? Throw it out there.
No, just again, just check us out on social media and watch for announcements about the film when it comes out on the 17th. And I've always got some crazy shenanigans going on, so you'll find that on the website or on my Instagram, or maybe X. I don't know. I'm not on X that often, so maybe don't go there. But just thank you guys again. You guys are awesome. And every time we get together with you, it's like my schedule is crazy because Jennifer and I run an independent business outside of everything else that we do. And it's like I never have time to watch stuff, generally speaking, or play video games. I have to even make time for Chicago sports that I really want to watch, even though who wants to watch the Bears these days? But when we joined you for the Halloween 4 watch along, we had such a blast. Like it was so fun. So like if anybody's like on the fence about doing the watch alongs, you guys have got to attend, because that was a hoot. Like seriously, that was a lot of fun. So I told her, I was like, we got to try and make some more of these if we can, because it was awesome.
That was on a weekend, right?
That was on a weekend, yeah.
Was it a Saturday?
Yeah, it was on a Saturday. That
was yeah. And also if Lito, because you're a buddy of ours, if we announce a watch along of something that you're really familiar with, you want to jump in on, just send us a message. Just say, hey Pat, I'd love to sit on this because it's one of my favorites or whatever. Just give us a shout out, man. I'll just send you the link and you better hop on.
That's an idea.
Did we do Phantasm yet?
I don't think we did Phantasm. We reviewed it.
I know we reviewed it. Hold on. I keep a database.
Maybe we did.
Everything we do, because I don't remember shit anymore. Hold on. Let me look, because I thought we did. I know we did. I know we reviewed it. And of course it was reviewed very highly. But
while you're looking, Pat, I will say, anybody watch The Fall of the House of Usher? I really enjoyed it with Edgar Allan Poe stuff. Very good. I'm only halfway through it. If you're a big Stallone fan, watch his documentary. It kind of ends abruptly, but it's still well worth it on Netflix. Came out on Friday. Check it out.
Sly.
That's right. The Arnold one was good too.
Okay. Yes. So no, we did. So here's the deal. We did not do Phantasm. You're right. I just looked at my database. So this week, on Tuesday, we're doing Slumber Party Massacre. Would you be available the following Tuesday? We'll do Phantasm. Or Tuesday's no good.
Let me check. Let me check, and I'll let you know.
We're not gonna find out. We like next week around this time. We would probably figure it out, right? Or Pat?
Yeah, you let me know, because because we'll throw it out there, because I thought we did it. I knew we reviewed it.
We gotta do Chopping Mall, or did we do Chopping Mall? Did we?
No, we can do Chopping Mall too. Oh God, there's so many movies we can do. We can do it every night of the week, as far as I care.
No, we're gonna start that Tales from the Dark Side stuff.
And that's starting too. Yeah, we want to start that Tales from the Dark Side too.
I figure we do 2 or 3 episodes a night, or once a week or something. Figure it out. Once every 2 weeks, whatever works.
The thing I always tell.
Let us know about the following Tuesday if you can do it.
I will.
And if you can't do it on a Tuesday, as long as we can figure out a different night that we all can do it, we're flexible.
Sweet. Well, I appreciate that. And the thing I always tell Jennifer, that's my biggest gripe about getting older, is the older I get, the more I realize there's just not enough time in every single day. There just isn't.
About it.
It's just, there's not.
I tell my wife all the time, it's great to sleep in, but to get the day started, you could get a lot of stuff accomplished.
Yep.
That's why, as my wife, ask her how much I sleep. I sleep literally 4 hours a night. You know why? Because I'm like, I enjoy sleep, but I don't have time to sleep. Because it's something like, I have to do this. I need to get this done. I need to get that done. And I'm like, if I sleep, I'm not going to get it done. So
I know.
Yeah.
Like, we're done here. I'm going to work for like probably another hour.
Yeah. So. When we get done here, I'm going to go next door to my neighbor, sit in the man cave, have a beer with him, and hang out and chat for a little bit. So Sunday night is the best night for me, because I try to get everything ready for Sunday night so we can do this podcast. Then when we're done, I can relax. And then the week starts, there's work. And then, like I said, tomorrow is different, because tomorrow we'll probably go out to dinner for our anniversary. Shout out to the wife. 24 years of putting up with me. She should get a medal. And yeah.
Congrats.
The proof is in the pudding. Those that say opposites don't attract, false. So, funny story real quick. Shout out to my wife. I don't know if I've told you guys. I think I told Brett this story. 24 years ago, so we both got married Catholic. In the Catholic faith, usually you go and do what they call pre-cana, where you go and meet with the priest, and you sit there and talk about your relationship and all your goals and your plans for the future and all this other stuff.
It's like a retreat.
Well, they send you on a retreat too. So we did the retreat. So at the end, they give you like this test. It's like the PSATs. So they put us in different rooms and give us a test. Following week, we go back to the priest from our parish. That my mother used to be a CCD teacher, so we knew the priest pretty well. and the deacon. And he's just like, well, we're going over your results, and I have to be honest with you. I don't think you guys should get married. And we're like,
Wow.
so admittedly, my wife looked at me and gave me a dirty look, because when we left, I told her, yeah, do you remember the test about, they asked you a question about like, have you thought about homosexual tendencies, all that stuff? And I said, of course I have. I put yes for everything. And the wife's like, you didn't do it, I'll kill you. I said, no, I'm only kidding. And so we go back there, and he's like, well, you guys are like off the charts opposite. And I'm like, we look at each other like, we needed a test to tell you that. we could have told you that without a test.
We knew, yeah.
And truth be told, I could name 10 of my friends that we've grown up with in the last 20 some odd years that are divorced, and opposites attract.
Divorce rate's pretty high nowadays.
24 years later, we're still here. And for some reason, she hasn't killed me yet. I don't know why. Maybe there's something wrong with her.
I mean, I feel you on that. Jennifer and I are similar in some ways, but in a lot of ways, we're completely different. She's an introvert and I'm an extrovert, and just a lot of different, ways of thinking. But that's what makes it work. And we're going on 24 years together and 22 years married. So
good for you. We're together for 27 years. We're married 24.
Congrats.
Crazy stuff. And yeah, it's just, well, these guys know, they've talked to my wife, and it's funny. It's this funny story is when Brett and I were on the Horus Hologround tour, and the wife was back at the hotel for H45, and she's like, oh, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, whatever you want to do. I have to go to the mall, go whatever you feel like doing, sweetie, just go do. We're sitting. So what am I getting, Brett? I'm getting pictures of Joe and Mary Beth with my wife at the bar. Hey, Brett's like, Joe's like, hey, look, we found this hottie at the bar. And I'm like, she's hanging out at the bar partying without me. What the hell?
It's such a rush to get back. That was so much fun.
Like, come on, Joe. Ixnay on the tour. We got to get back to the bar.
I love it.
God, you're thinking, 2023. I've known my wife 30 years this year, but we've only been together for 14. So,
knowing my wife, I've known my wife, Jesus Christ. Let's see. I'm 51. I've probably known her.
It's a damn shame when you marry one of your sister's friends.
40, 45 years, because we grew up in the same town, my wife and I. I actually used to hang out with her older sister and her brother. I used to get drunk with her brother. But we grew up together. We knew each other in just different circles, and we just knew each other from school and never thought anything of it. And then started dating in our 20s, which is weird. I remember telling my friend, like, who are you dating? I'm like, Kathy Willow. He's like, Kathy from high school? How the hell did you start hanging out with her? Just very weird.
It just clicked.
Yeah, just strange shit. So yeah, we'll be doing dinner tomorrow night. All that fun stuff. And it sucks. It's a Monday, and the more anniversaries you celebrate, the less you kind of do, unless it's a weekend. But next year we're going to Ireland for our 25th anniversary. So
nice.
Oh, well, we got to include Lito in our convention. Right, we talked about maybe March of next year doing our own.
Oh yeah, Lito was asking about that. That's right.
Horror movie podcast convention where we're going to go to Salt Lake City to do 4 or 5
yeah
locations.
Yeah.
So
let me know.
And I told my wife loves to travel.
That seriously.
Wife loves to travel. I say we're going someplace. She's like, she's in. So I said we're going to go to Salt Lake City. She's like, okay.
Yeah, it's not much of a drive for us, honestly. So.
How long a drive is it from LA to Salt Lake City, Utah?
I think it was about 8 hours to get to Salt Lake City total, which
really?
And we split it
That's
into
it?
Yeah, we split it into 2 days, and it was nothing. So
have you been to the locations out there?
Never been.
All right, so we have to do some research. We have to go back and watch Sean Clark's videos.
Yeah,
he did all 3 of them.
He did all 3. Yeah, we have to go back and make sure we have them all planned out.
I remember I asked him when we were on the bus talking. He's like, dude, yeah, you can't do those 3 movies in one day.
No, that's why we figure we'd do like a long weekend. Go. I'm gonna do.
So you can at least enjoy and spend time. Yeah.
Figure I'll do like the same thing I did for H45. Go out Thursday to Sunday, or leave on a Monday or something like that. Because right around that time, my birthday is February 6th. My wife is March 5th. We're exactly 1 year apart. She's older. I just look 10 years older than her. So we could just make it like a birthday thing.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with marrying an older woman.
Yeah. especially when, so years ago when we first started dating, truth be told, she's not a smoker anymore. She was a smoker when we first met. She's since quit. But we'd go out and she'd always get proof because she's got a baby face and she's like 4 feet tall. And then we'd go out to a bar, like, oh, let's go see a show. We're gonna go out and have some drinks. And you go to walk into a bar and you have to show your ID. So she shows her ID. They're like, okay, you're good. I go to show not you, sir. You're okay. I'm like, what am I, a fucking father? No, she's older than me. Yeah, that was always the fun part.
She got good genes, man.
Yep.
Yeah, seriously. Oh, Greg's back. Look at that. See, it's funny. How many people come back and be like, you guys are still on?
Well, we're just about off.
Yeah, we'll head out.
Yeah.
Lito's got to go eat. We can keep talking. I'm going to get going. And so everybody, like, subscribe, comment. Make sure you check out. I'm going to throw it up here one last time as we're heading out. Go check out Final Girls Bloodbath on Facebook. And when it finally comes out, depending on where to decide where it is, whether it's Patreon, it's worth every penny because it's a lot of fun.
It's a short film.
It's a short film, but you know what? It doesn't seem as short as it is. But so
it doesn't seem short, and for as short as it is, the effects are pretty rad.
Yeah, I was gonna say so, and we didn't want to spoil too much of that. I was gonna say, what was it like getting all that on you?
Yeah, so
it's nothing new for me.
No,
everybody go check it out. So and we'll be back on Tuesday night. We're doing Slumber Party Massacre this Tuesday night. We'll be back live on Wednesday night when I tell you guys about the last 10 chapters of 2018 because Brett and Joe won't read them.
I do read them. Or listen to them.
All right. Joe let the cat out of the bag. Joe's just like, we don't have to read. Pat reads it and just tells us about it.
I listen to it. I listen to them.
And I'm like, I don't care. I'm a geek. It is what it is.
I don't even think I read any of the other books. We did the other guy did the original novelizations. We had the YouTube videos. We got to reach out to that guy, Pat.
Yeah, I will. I reached out to Nicholas Grabowski from part 4 and he never got back to me. Yeah. It's funny. He likes stuff I post. He's in groups I'm in and likes shit. But I sent him this message, never answered it.
He's due to make another version of Halloween 4.
Yeah. I'm like, we're doing Halloween 4. We'd love to have you on. Never answered back and never got back to me. So be it. But so you know what? Why don't you guys hang on? We'll say our quick goodbyes after the fact. Everybody, thanks again. Like, subscribe, comment, all that bullshit. Happy horse shit. Thanks for sticking out for 3 hours and 36 minutes. We didn't beat our record. Close, but we didn't beat it. Next time.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.